York. Hello, and welcome to Marvel Live from New York Comic Con 2017. I am Lorraine Sink.
I'm Ryan Penagos.
And we are having an awesome Comic Con already starting. We're actually doing Marvel Live a little differently this time.
Switching it up, flipping it up, rubbing it down. Oh no, right? You know
Yeah,
what I'm talking
poison,
about.
right?
Yes.
But this show, we've been doing a lot of cool stuff throughout the day. We've been taping all of the coolest stuff from New York Comic Con, and we're going to be sharing it throughout our live stream today. And we're going to be checking in with you guys, the fans, live, and you can interact with us throughout the stream.
Yeah, and kind of one of the things that's cool is we've been doing all these cool shows like Thwip, the big Marvel show that we do, Eat the Universe, Marvel Becoming, Comics and Coffee, so many cool things, and we wanted to incorporate that more into our live stream in Marvel Live and bring it to you in a cool new way. And here we are, sitting in chairs.
Yeah, that's
being a
right.
boss.
Super boss. And of course, if you're not watching it at Marvel Live already on Marvel.com, you can go to Marvel.com/NYCC2017, where you can not only see this, but see live tweets of panels and all kinds of cool stuff like photos, articles, all that stuff.
Strongmen just like lifting things.
That's well, you might.
That might
I
be
don't
my
know.
webpage. Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah. What else is going on? We've got so much going on. There's panels
Tons
and
of
fun
panels.
things happening throughout the day.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the rundown for today, what we're going to be
Yes.
seeing on the show today. So we're going to have Ronald L. Smith, who's a YA author, who's author of Black Panther, The Young Prince.
Yeah, brand new. It's super cool.
Yeah, and we're going to have some coffee and comics on the stage at the Marvel booth.
Yes, that was kind of great. And it was all about me. So it's
Yeah.
extra great.
Yeah, there's a character in it
Yes.
that Ryan has an affinity for.
Yeah, our barista artist just knocked it out of the park. It looks beautiful. You guys are going to love that, so stay tuned for that.
And we're going to have a special booth tour with Walter Hickey, who is going to be doing some really cool stuff, showing you all of the cool stuff on the floor that you could only see if you're there at the con, but you're not. So we're showing it to you guys.
Yeah, we want you guys to stay tuned every day, get a little taste.
A little
Yeah.
mwah.
Yeah, mwah.
And then we're going to have some M&M's Guardians of the Galaxy awesome dance-off. We're going to see some fun Marvel fans getting down, hoping to win.
Ooh, what
Win.
do they win?
Love.
Oh.
Isn't that what all of humans are looking for?
I
Okay.
think more cash prizes, boats, like
It does all come down to votes,
yeah,
that's right.
free spaying and neutering for your pets, that kind of stuff.
I like that you're practical.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have Eat the Universe segment with celebrity chef Justin Werner. He's so great.
Oh my gosh.
And his food is delish.
If I haven't said it already, and you'll hear it again, he made me eat snake without telling me, and it was great.
That's a true fact. I watched that happen.
Yep.
And then you're going to talk with the New Day.
Yes, New Day. Wrestlers from WWE who are doing a really cool event with Marvel vs. Capcom and IGN here around New York Comic Con, and it's awesome. They're friends. It's good to see them.
And you Marvel gamers are definitely going to want to stay here with us the whole time because there is going to be a Kabam Marvel Contest of Champions character reveal here on the show. So you want to stay to watch it. And then we're going to have Ashley Eckstein from Her Universe. We're going to have Ed McGuinness coming by doing a live quick draw here in the studio.
Oh, so Ed is great.
yeah.
It's really exciting, and he's just like super game to have fun with us and do some cool stuff and show you guys how his art is made, which is neat.
Yeah.
And talking about Contest of Champions, if you're a player like me, you've seen some of the cool new updates that are happening in the game, and that's kind of be part of what we're talking about in the stream. So you definitely want to stay for that.
For sure. And then we're going to have Matt Rosenberg.
Yeah, my
Writer.
friend Matt. He's got a beard. He'll probably be wearing shorts. Spoiler alert, we're going to be looking up his shorts.
Are you facial hair friends?
Always. When we see each other, it's not like a handshake or a hug. It's just I rub my mustache on his beard, and it's a normal thing that grown men do.
Like puppies or
Yeah.
just normal grown men stuff. And of course, you guys can interact with us throughout the stream when you hashtag MarvelNYCC.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
It's going to be super great. And we have tons of stuff coming up. So tweet us your questions, your comments. Also, if you have questions for our guests and that kind of stuff, or just like if you want to request songs from Ryan, you can do that.
Oh, solo
Nope.
mio. No,
Nope,
we
none
don't
of
own the
that.
rights to that. Okay,
Nothing.
that's fine. But I think from here, we should show something cool that we've already done today.
But Ryan,
What
have we done that's so crazy cool today?
How about a live episode of Thwip, the big Marvel show,
That sounds
from the stage?
amazing. You should absolutely show them that.
Yes. So stay tuned. Check that out. It's going to be super fun, and then we'll be back. It's going to be great.
Stick right here at Marvel Live from New York Comic Con 2017. It's New York Comic Con!
here on Thwip, the Big Marvel Show!
Hey guys, I'm Lorraine Sink.
And I'm Ryan Panagos. I don't know why we're saying our last names. It's really weird to me.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like my last name.
Yeah, it's okay.
I like your last name. What is it, Penagos?
You know what? Fine. Let's talk about New York Comic Con. What's going on this weekend?
All right, there's so many things. You guys, first of all, I want to say this is Thwip, the Big Marvel Show. It's a show that we do on Marvel.com and the Marvel YouTube.
We have a
every
Facebook page
Tuesday.
for it. We're on Twitter. Everywhere you can watch our stuff.
Right. And you guys are currently watching us, Marvel Live, from New York Comic Con 2017. There's a ton of stuff coming up this week.
Oh my gosh.
Let's start talking panels.
Yeah, so many cool panels. You've got two Cup of Joe panels. Lots of cool news and reveals coming for that. X-Men stuff. You've got the cool conversation between Ta-Nehisi Coates and Jason Reynolds.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and then there's lots of TV stuff.
There's a ton of cool TV stuff. The thing I'm really pumped about, Marvel's Runaways coming to Hulu. It's debuting on November 21st, and they are doing their first panel here at New York Comic Con 2017. We're going to have cool stuff out of that. They're going to be doing a signing. We're going to get to meet the cast.
Yep.
It's going to be what we call in the biz dope. And The Gifted debuted on Fox this week.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited about it.
Really, really cool.
Stephen Moyer, Amy Acker,
Get them mutants.
Mutants powers. It's straight up dope. They'll also be having some signings and panel
Yep.
here at New York Comic Con, and we're going to have all of that.
Yes, all that and more.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a little movie called Marvel Studios Thor Ragnarok coming out in a month.
Heck yeah, there is.
Yeah, it's going to be hella dope.
It sure is going to be hella dope. I did some hella inspired nails this week.
Very cool. They look great.
Thanks. Thank you. And I'm so excited about it. But you know what I'm more excited about?
What's that?
That we have a new segment
Ooh.
coming up right now. This guy is one of the smartest dudes at Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
Let's bring him to the stage. Tom
Senior
Brevoort.
Vice President and Executive Editor of Marvel Comics. Yeah. Tom, please
Come
stand over
join
there.
us in the middle.
Tom started as an intern and is now a Senior Vice President, and he's been editing the Avengers comics for over 20 years. He's amazing. Thank you for doing this, Tom.
I'm very, very tired.
It's just starting for you. What are some of the big highlights of your Comic-Con this year?
There's the Cup of Joe panel on Saturday. There's a Kirby panel also on Saturday. There's a bunch of panels later on today. Just walking the floor and seeing all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It is huge. And so, speaking of huge, we've got a huge game
We
called
do.
Beat
Brevoort.
Lorraine, explain what that is.
Okay, so this game is basically this guy knows just about everything, I'm going to say.
People like to beat me.
And people like to beat him. So, you guys are going to have your chance to unseat the king of Marvel Comics trivia from our Marvel HQ. But if you want to compete, you can talk to Judy over there on the side, see if you can get a chance to unseat Brevoort.
We need
What do
three
you-
victims. We've got one victim already. I've pulled the questions out from my butt. We're ready to go. Come on over here. You got
Okay.
a great costume. Tell us your name and what your costume is.
My name is Emily. I am dressed as Jubilee, or at least my version of Jubilee.
Oh, it looks awesome. Very good. All right. So we've got bells.
We've got bells. If you think you know the answer, you have to ring in. Whoever rings in first gets the first stab at answering the question correctly. If they answer it wrong,
not fair,
though,
Tom.
I assume I
you
know the
can
answer to the question.
steal.
So
He's disqualified now. He rang too early. I win by default.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I control the rules here.
Okay,
So-
I will be your microphone. Lorraine will be Tom's microphone. I've got the questions. Let's start. So it's there's going to be 5 chances to beat Brevoort.
I'll start with my
First
hands behind
question.
my back.
Yeah.
Can we get our mics a little up?
What newspaper does Peter Parker work for?
At the moment, none, but traditionally the Daily Bugle.
That's correct. All right, you've got 4 more chances. What is Hawkeye's dog's name?
Lucky or Pizza Dog.
That is correct. The look of horror on your face was wonderful.
This guy knows it all.
What is Black Widow's full real name, including her middle name?
No. No.
Tom's hand is slow.
No.
I'll take it without the middle name if you got it.
What I know is Natasha Romanoff, and I think that's probably not the actual full name because it's not in Russian.
Tom, do you want to
Well,
counter?
I think you can. I think you can
Oh,
give it to her. I think you can give it
yes.
to her.
The-
I think that's fair.
That warms my heart. Thank you.
Yes, that is very good. We'll take that answer. It's also Natalia Alianova Romanova,
Yeah,
which I
couldn't
didn't
have-
even know.
I couldn't have pronounced Alianova is where my problem was.
All right, you've got two more. What issue did Iron Man first appear in?
Tales of Suspense 39, as every school child knows.
Correct.
I skipped that day. I was out sick. I mean, obviously, that's what happened.
Tales of Suspense 101 is a tough class, I understand. All right, last one for you to beat Brevoort. Who presents Captain America with his first circular shield?
Howard Stark.
You know what? I'm going to take that because it works in the movies.
I'll give that for the movie, sure.
Yes. Yay!
In the comics.
In the comics.
FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Correct. In the living legend, Captain America number 255 from 1981.
I learned
Congratulations
something
for getting a question
today.
right.
Literally, I got one of my own merits, so thank you.
You did great.
I'd give you 2.
We'll give you 2.
I'd credit you with 2.
You guys are such good sports. Shake hands in the spirit of good sportsmanship. And I think we have something special for you there off the side, either way.
Awesome. Thank you. I'll take this. Next victim, please.
Next victim. How was that, Tom?
That was good.
How's
That
it
was
going?
nice. It was easy.
All right,
Who do we
sir, what
have
is your
here?
name?
Nicholas.
Nicholas. All right, you ready? You understand the game? Here's your bell. Black Panther is the king of the African country.
Wakanda.
Correct.
That is
Came
correct.
in there. This one is going to be a competition, Tom. Okay, you got one. What is the name of the battle axe that Thor Odinson wields?
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
Storm Breaker. No, I got it.
Close, but no.
Close, close.
It's pronounced Jarborn.
Jarborn.
Or as I like to call it, yarn yarn.
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 My baby Bjorn.
Exactly.
You in there?
It's 1 and 1.
Okay. Though we know him as Frank Castle, the Punisher's birth name is
Castiglione.
Francis Castiglione. All right, look, it's okay. This is
We got-
Tom Brevoort. You're doing well. You got one so far.
He has a name named after him for a
Yes.
reason.
All right. Daredevil's traditional red costume first appeared in what issue?
Oh my God.
Daredevil 7, as every school
Daredevil
child
number
knows.
7.
That is correct in the semester of Daredevil that we all took very early on. All right, last one. I think you can do this one.
Yep.
Carol Danvers, a.k.a. Captain Marvel, was born in which U.S. city?
Which U.S. city? Oh boy. Boston, Massachusetts. Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, he got it with
All
no help
right.
from me whatsoever.
You did not unseat Brevoort, but you did put in a good
Yeah.
show.
You got 40%, which is failing, but still good.
And
Really
you made
good.
him answer quickly.
Yeah, very good.
Quick, easy one first. Quick, easy one first. And you said, what year?
Okay. Thank you. I will take.
We
I
have
will take
something
the bell.
special for you off
We'll
to
get
the
you something
side.
over there.
Thank you. Okay. One more victim.
All right, one more victim. Here's your bell, sir. What is your name?
John.
John, you ready for this?
Oh, but wait. Look at the time. It's sudden death.
Woo, woo, woo.
That means you guys are going to answer as many questions as you can, as quickly as you can for the win.
All right. I'm going to try to
I
read
will
these
tell
real
you when
quick.
your time is up.
All right. Scarlet Witch's brother's name is?
Pietro Maximoff, Quicksilver.
I think.
I rang.
Okay,
Tom
Brevoort
rang
got
first.
it first.
Okay.
I rang.
What is the inscription on Thor's hammer of Mjolnir?
Damn it.
Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
Correct.
No, that's not right.
What year was Hulk created?
The year of the Hulk.
No.
In 1962.
1963.
1962.
Tom was right. That was good. Good try though. When does Captain America first lift Thor's hammer?
When he first
Thor
lifts Thor's hammer.
390.
Thor.
Valiant tries, all of them. No, Tom is right, of course. That was in 1988. Who is Marvel's first character?
That would be the soldier or the sentinel or the sentry or the Human Torch.
close.
Technically, Marvel's
Yes.
first character
Stan
is Kazar.
Lee.
Technically, Tom.
Technically, Marvel's first character is Kazar.
Ooh. All right. Well,
You probably have Namor.
We have
down there.
Namor.
Kazar was in pulps before he was in comics.
we just got Brevoorted.
Yes.
Okay. What issue did Spider-Man first appear in?
Amazing Fantasy number 15.
Correct. You got one, and that was fast. In which issue does Bruce Banner transform into Hulk to distress for the first time?
The Tale of Transformation, first time.
Technically, that's Avengers 3.
Technically, Avengers 3.
Yes.
We have Avengers 3 on here.
Okay, well then
Then that is correct.
All right.
We've got Brevoort checked. Although Carol Danvers first appears in Marvel Universe in 1968, what year did she become Captain Marvel?
1976.
Obviously, 1976.
And that is it.
That is it.
Oh.
It was close. It was close.
7-1.
My bell was
Brevoort.
broken.
Oh.
Ah, the classic broken
you
bell
still
syndrome.
get some love. Please shake hands.
he
said
just
this
whispered
isn't over.
something.
It was a good effort. It was a good
This
effort.
is how supervillains are made.
To be continued.
Thank you, John.
Thank
Tom,
you.
thank you so much. Where are fans going to find you on social media?
Tom Brevoort on Twitter.
Easy peasy. Tom's got to go to a panel. We thank him.
Thank you.
We're going to play more fun things all the time. What are we
That's
doing?
right. Right now, we're actually going to play our Infinity Wheel. So if you still want to do some trivia, get a chance to take something fun home with you, we have our Infinity Wheel here. You can line up right here at the side of the stage right now, and our producer will pull you on up, and we'll do some fun trivia. We have lots of cool games that we're going to play.
Yeah. How do you want to do this? Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to be over
let's,
here with the fans?
Let me put down this bell.
Put down the bell. Bring up our victim contestant. Great. I'll be over here with the fans. Hello, sir. What is your name?
Sam. Sam, yeah.
Sam, please take a spin of the Infinity Wheel. Let's face the camera. Ooh, we've got alien race or cheese. So in this game, she's going to ask you, is this an alien race from the Marvel Universe or a type of cheese? Okay.
And you are going to guess. So this name is Trezelle.
Trezelle.
Trezelle. Alien race or cheese.
Trezelle cheese.
I
you
honestly
tell
don't remember.
us.
Alien race.
You're right, it is.
Yes!
First appearing in Incredible Hulk number 92 in 2006, it's a three-legged land animal from the planet of Sakaar.
Awesome. Very cool.
We have something
so,
special for you.
yeah, we'll have you go about this way and wait on that side, and we'll make sure we get you something. Thank you, Sam. We'll take
Thank
the next
you.
person up. Judy. Judy, we'll take the next person up. Hi, what is your name?
Angela?
You ready for this? Awesome. All right, Angela, please spin.
Alien Racer cheese.
Alien racer cheese again.
All right. All right, I'll read this one for you. Carolon. It's called Carolon.
Cheese? Alien Race.
Alien race is correct.
That's right.
Yes, they first appeared in Marvel Preview number 15 in the Kindar star system. I had no idea either. So good guess. You did well.
Thank you so
Angela.
much.
All right. Hello, sir. What is your name?
Eric?
You ready? Yep. All right, please spin the wheel.
Origin story.
All right. What do we call the alien creature that bonded with Peter Parker and then Eddie Brock to create the villain anti-hero known as Venom?
The symbiote.
It sure is a symbiote.
Yeah.
You answered that too quickly. I'm going to make you answer one more.
Ooh, that was
right.
okay. We would have also taken Clintar.
Yeah, we would.
Okay.
Who is the alien warrior who once lifted Thor's hammer, leading
Beta Ray
Odin to
Bill.
make him
Man, why weren't you
Okay.
in the Beat Brevoort section?
Hold up. One more time. What is the name of the planet where Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy originally comes from?
Now you got me stumped.
Yeah, Planet X. Thanks.
Planet X.
I just wanted to, unseat you.
Yeah. Folks who are watching, come on in. We've got room for more. You're going to win prizes. You can answer questions. We're probably going to give you something even if you get it wrong because we're relatively nice. Come on in. Hi, what's your name?
Melinda. Yep. Yep.
Please spin the wheel.
Superhero charades.
Okay, superhero charades. How do you want to play this, Lorraine?
I think that you should act it out.
I'll act it out.
And she has to guess.
Okay. All right, I'll give you. You want to go over to Lorraine?
Come on over. Come stand with me.
These are all very embarrassing.
This is why we write this game.
Okay.
To make Ryan embarrassed. You have to guess at least 3.
Spider-Man.
We got to do at least 3, Ryan.
What?
At least 3.
Oh my God, Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. I know who it is.
I don't know.
You might remember a guy named Benedict Cumberbatch played this guy once.
Oh, Doctor Strange.
That's right, Doctor Strange. Thanks so much for playing.
Did you like
the
my
Infinity
flying
Wheel.
motion? That was like. I went to
you.
Juilliard to be able to do that.
That's a lie.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Suzu.
Susan, how you doing? You look amazing.
Thank you.
Susan,
welcome.
you're not supposed to tell us your secret identity.
We'll keep your secret safe. It's fine. All right, you want to spin the wheel?
Sure.
Origin story. Let's see what I got for you here. Okay. I think you should spin this wheel again. Oh, no. It landed on something like easier. Let's do some superhero charades. Here, I'll be your person this time.
Okay, so she's going to act out the characters, and you're going to tell us which character she's pretending to be.
You've got this.
Ant-Man.
Really good, very good. All right, 2 more.
Hulk. Loki.
Yes, 2 for 2 so far.
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury. Oh my God, 3 in a row. Great job, Susan.
That was truly amazing. Also, your costume is so good. Can you just strut the catwalk for us?
Like, show the camera.
Would you just give us like a full twirl? Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys, give it up.
My favorite Daredevil story is when he goes and picks up prints from the print shop, and he's got them with him when he's traveling. It's the best. You are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Here, this is for you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. You can come off this
Come
way.
on this way. Thank you. All right, we have one more victim. Come on in, sir. How you doing? Good. What's your name?
Chris.
Chris, please spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
That is a hell of a spin, sir. Good job.
I used to watch Wheel of Fortune a lot, so.
I like to think of myself as a modern-day Vanna White.
Okay, this game is called Catch a Phrase. I'm going to throw a phrase at you that a character might say, and you're going to tell me who said it. Sound good?
Okay.
Awesome. Face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot.
Mary Jane.
Heck yeah. Imperious Rex.
Namor.
Heck yeah. By the hoary hosts of Hogarth. I almost said Jerry Hogarth.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. That's right.
That's great.
Okay, one last one. Mind Gott.
What was that?
Mein Gott. It's in German.
Red Skull.
Close. No, not close at all. But Nightcrawler.
Oh, my God.
He's a
Nightcrawler.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah, you got them all.
Great job. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right.
What a bunch of winners. Give it up for everybody who played.
Yay! All right. Let's move back over here, away from that. What are we doing next, Lorraine? Is it?
Now it's time for Social Hour.
Woo!
This is where we normally take tweets and YouTube comments and we answer them live on the show. But instead, what we're going to do is we are going to answer your guys' questions. And if you have a really great question, you are going to get something extra special and cool.
Can we tell them what it is? Or should we?
I think we should. Come on down. Come on down. Start thinking of questions. And please ask us questions. Oh, just you can wait here. We'll get right to you in just a moment. But please ask us questions that we can answer. We want to answer your questions, but we can't spoil movies or TV shows. We don't want to ruin the end of anything. So think of those kinds of questions that maybe we can answer for you.
Yeah. And we have a special prize. Come on over here. Nick Varela, Marvel Comics artist, has created something very special for us. Nick, what is this?
Can you tell us what this is?
It's Deadpool riding a unicorn taxi.
Heck yeah, it is. That is Deadpool riding a unicorn taxi by Nick Varela, signed by Nick Varela.
So
you better have a good question. If you have a good question, come sneak here down the front. We're going to have Sean here with the mic. You can talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay, in Marvel Legacy #1, Thor and Sam Wilson kiss again, and they hadn't really shown them kissing since, All New Avengers #4.
Sure, we like a good smooch.
Yeah.
So is he cheating on Misty there? Because it's kind of between then and now, Spencer kind of set up that they're in a relationship much more than they were at the beginning of that arc.
Well, we don't know their relationship. The rules of their relationship have not been clearly defined.
Consenting adults.
They're consenting adults. We're not going to judge them. We're just going to let them live.
Would Misty be mad? Maybe, maybe not. But we don't know. We also don't know the time frame where it all happens, when one thing happens in another, and what conversations have gone on, you know.
Exactly. So we're just going to trust that they're consenting adults who
like to smooch other people.
Yeah, they just like to smooch. Some people just like smooching.
I don't want to say they're in an open relationship.
No comment.
Sounds like cheating.
Ooh, Nick's
Nick
got
Varela,
a hard
hot
stance
take.
on this one. Okay.
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 Yes.
Yes.
If we've got another
wanna
question
give-
coming up,
Is
anyone
this
with a
question worthy of your drawing, or do you want to give him a really cool prize? She wants another question.
We want another question. Who's got a question? If you've got a question for Nick Varela, a Marvel artist, about potentially maybe art or her work, you can ask that. You can ask things about the show, about Marvel.com, about working in comics, all of those kinds of things.
We're going to give you a special Marvel Unlimited prize. So it gives you a monthly subscription to Marvel Unlimited. I will give this to these gentlemen here, or right to you. There we go. Haywood, why don't you ask us a question? Come on over.
Will Steve Rogers lead another Avengers team?
Will Steve Rogers lead another Avengers team? That's a good question. That's a little spoilery. We're not really sure because I don't know, and I think Steve has a lot of soul searching to do in the wake of Secret Invasion, Secret Empire, and all the events that have gone on. So we would love it because he's Steve Rogers.
But I have a question for Nick. If you were going to draw Steve Rogers at the helm of any Avengers team, what roster would you choose to draw? Which would you like to create if you were?
Well, I'd put myself in it first.
Oh, you put yourself in? Okay.
And then I'd put myself again and again.
So just a bunch of Nick
Yeah,
Varellas?
just a bunch of Nick Varellas dressed up as all different superheroes, and I'm just worshiping Captain America.
Where is that print?
Good question.
Okay.
That's the next one. That's the next one.
Commissioning it right away.
Awesome. Do we have one more?
Hi, first time Comic Con person here. Hi, everybody. Hey.
Hi. What's your name, sir?
My name is James. People call me Jimmy Jam. Nobody does. That's
Okay,
not
Jimmy
true.
Jam.
Yeah. My question is, who's your favorite new Marvel TWIP correspondent person?
Well, that would be probably
Me? Do I count?
You're not that new. You know, it would probably be James Arthur. James Arthur, come up here. You guys, this is James Arthur. He is one of our THWIP correspondents. He's going to be here with us throughout the week on Marvel Live, which you guys can check out at marvel.com/NYCC2017 and hashtag MarvelNYCC to interact with us and ask us questions. What's the coolest thing you've done so far?
I had an amazing Diamond booth tour, the Diamond Select Toys. It was really cool. Got to see some really big toys. And I just love looking at that lockjaw over there and just hoping that I'll get some slobber on my face.
That's weird.
That's okay. I thought we were sharing weird. Oh, I thought this was share weird things here, or just weasel my way into the segment right now.
Yeah, no, that's what THWIP, the Marvel show, is all about.
Yeah, weaseling.
Weaseling.
That's what I do best.
Okay, we maybe have time for one last question.
One last question.
One last question.
For this.
You had a question, right?
Right
Yes.
there.
My question is, I'm a huge fan of the Blue Marvel. He's like my favorite superhero
Yes.
altogether. And in his first issue, his first run, I should say, he fought the entire Avengers, including the Sentry, where he rocked the Sentry and sent him to the moon, flying through like a satellite, destroying a whole bunch of people. My question is, if him and the Sentry were to go full out, one-on-one, who would win, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I would always go with the Blue Marvel because he's so smart and so like emotionally put together. The Sentry is unstable. He's super powerful, but he's not like something's gonna happen. He's gonna flip out. He may even turn into the Void, and I think the Blue Marvel still beats him.
Okay, but Sentry ripped a god in half, so I feel like it's really would come down to like an emotional battle. Like if Sentry could keep it together long enough, he would have a shot. But I would put my money on Blue Marvel.
Blue Marvel has beaten god level characters before, but he is awesome. I like that question. That's a good one.
I'm just gonna side with Lorraine because I learned you always side with Lorraine here. So
You know what?
Quick at THWIP.
I'm going to give you, well, actually, Nick, why don't you give the gentleman the print? That's awesome.
All right. Thank you guys all so much for playing along with us here on THWIP, the Big Marvel Show. We're going to have more coming up on Marvel Live at marvel.com/NYCC2017. Stay right here if you're online, and stay right here in the Marvel booth because we have more cool stuff that we're about to do in just a minute.
Yeah. Bye.
What's up, y'all? You are watching Marvel Live here at New York Comic Con 2017. I'm Ryan Panagos, a.k.a. Marvel's Agent M.
I'm Lorraine Sink, and we're joined by author Ronald L. Smith. Welcome.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me here.
Well, we were just talking, and you said this is your first Comic-Con. Is that true?
It is, it is. I am a certified big nerd, geek. I love all this stuff, but somehow I've just never made it to the big ones. So I'm having a blast.
Well, I'm glad that you could be here with us. You, of course, wrote this book.
Yeah. Have you been to like BookCon and stuff?
BookCon, yeah, festivals, literary festivals, other smaller sci-fi.
I'm sure there's
fantasy type
huge cosplay at BookCon. Like,
not as much as here. So.
No.
Oh, well, there's never as much as
Here's
here.
pretty intense. Yeah. But you wrote a book.
Yeah,
for
Black
us.
I wrote a book.
Panther, the
Yes.
young prince.
It's very exciting.
So, I mean, let's just get into it. T'Challa has a really interesting story because he's not just in Wakanda.
Right. No, I guess I can say what the body copy flap cover reveals.
Yes. Safe.
And, you know, this is the story of young T'Challa. You know, who is he before he becomes the Black Panther? So we wanted to tell a story about him as a kid. And we see some of Wakanda, but then we also see the young prince, T'Challa, in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago, which is an interesting kind of stranger in a strange land kind of situation, because even though he's a prince and he's wealthy and he has all this privilege, his life is kind of really pretty sheltered. So what is it like for a kid with his background and his family history and all of this destiny that's heaped upon him to be someplace where he has to remain anonymous because something's going on in Wakanda? Can't tell you what it is yet, but he has to be sent away.
Intrigue. And I like it that it's not just like, okay, you're a prince of the most advanced nation on the planet. We're going to send you to a really great school, and it's going to be wonderful. It's like, no, you're going to like slip under the radar. You're going to sort of live how the normal folks in America live.
Right.
And in Chicago, in this area, like, it's not like he's not getting all the amenities that he would be used to.
No, it's not Little Lord Fauntleroy's School of Privilege.
Although
I
it's a pretty great school.
Yeah, well, it
my
is, but
favorite school.
they want you know, T'Chaka, his father, wants him to get to know the common people, you know, not only in Wakanda, but throughout the world. So that's why he goes to this kind of South Side Chicago school, which is still a good school, but it's not what he would expect. So he has to learn some lessons there, and there's some bad stuff going down there, of course, and he finds himself wrapped up in it. And
Ain't
lots
that
of
the
cool
case?
stuff
I
happens.
know.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned T'Chaka. There's also some Marvel characters that people might recognize, but maybe some new characters potentially.
Right. Well, the wonderful folks at Disney Marvel Press, you know, they gave me this opportunity. And, you know, there's a lot to learn if you're not big on Black Panther. Obviously, I knew a lot. Well, not a lot, but I mean, I knew a pretty good amount because I'm a big fan. But it's kind of an origin story in a way that doesn't necessarily tie in with the movie, but I was able to create my own story. So you see, you know, T'Challa and M'Baku, you know, some of the people from Wakanda. There's mention of the older mythology. But then there's also the school friends that T'Challa makes. So they're new characters. And then the antagonist, Gemini Jones, is my invention. So I hope people will like it. It's a lot of fun, and, you know, great opportunity.
And so we were talking beforehand, and I was like, is it Gemini Jones, an established character? Because you did such a great job making such a perfectly Marvel name.
Yes.
Like Gemini Jones,
wonderful.
that alliteration, that feeling of a classic Marvel character name.
Yeah,
It just,
yeah.
And I was like searching my brain, like, I'm stumped, which...
Oh, that's cool.
You
Because
can
once
get
you're
a-
into that world, you
Yeah.
feel those names and all the alliteration and the vocabulary of the world.
Yeah, he can go get a job working for Scorpio in the Marvel Universe a little later on in life. And speaking of Gemini, we know some teasers that there's potentially some dark magic, and you have dark magic in a lot of your work. What is it about dark magic that you find interesting?
Wow, that's a good question. Young T'Challa does find something happening that could be dark magic. Is it dark? Is it magic?
I don't know.
Is it science? Is it technology run amok? Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. But I think, you know, I write literature for young people, and you know, I think that I grew up on that kind of stuff in comic books and fantasy books and sci-fi books. So magic, dark magic, kind of there's something within all of us that's kind of the dark side, right? So what happens when you tap into that? You know, is it tempting? It's not just totally black and white. There could be something, there could be a pull that really wants to tempt you into this kind of stuff. So I just like exploring that, you know, dark magic, you know, black magic, hoodoo, whatever. So I hope that answered.
I know, I love that.
Yeah, so you mentioned, you know, you've been a big fan of Black Panther. Do you have a favorite run from the many years of Black Panther, a favorite you know, creative team? Like, I think... You know, Christopher Priest's run for me is seminal in Marvel Comics.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I really like I like everything. Reginald Hudlin stuff.
Yeah, Reginald was great.
I love it all.
Yeah.
I love it all.
Yeah, and the current stuff, we're doing some interesting things with Black Panther and with the mythology. So you mentioned a little bit of some of like the older characters. Do you get into any of the mythology behind the Black Panther in the book?
Well, you know, a little bit. I mean, that's why I wanted to open it up in Wakanda, so you get a real sense of the country and what it's like. And so, you know, you kind of hint at that stuff. It's in the background. It's a backdrop. We spend a little bit of time there, not a whole lot, but I did really want to paint a picture of what this country's like, you know, why it is the way it is, you know, talk about vibranium and the heart-shaped herb and all the kind of mystical stuff. So to kind of lay down a foundation for what this country is really about and who T'Challa and the Black Panther clan is really about.
Sure.
You know, I'm always really interested. Black Panther, you know, there are different creators that create him. There is an actor portraying him. Where do you think you find T'Challa's voice in yourself? Is there someone you think of when you think of his voice? Or is it just something innate in you?
I was thinking of myself because
Yeah.
I think I am the Black Panther. So.
Really? Go
No,
on.
I mean, you know, you just want to try to somehow tap into that that mythology and that culture and just do the best job you can. I mean, it helps if you know something about it. It helps that you know, I had all of the resources of Marvel. I could just reach out and ask them a question, and like, no, T'Challa wouldn't say that, or no, this is the way it works. So, you know, when you have all that information, it's up to the author to just try to distill it into something that people will relate to.
Well, I love that so much. Where can people find you online?
My Twitter is @RonSmithBooks, and my website is strangeblackflowers.com.
Ooh, I like that as
Yeah,
a
that is
URL.
good. Yeah. One last real quick question. In writing this and preparing for the book, have you watched anything for the film? Like, have you seen the teasers, the posters, or anything? Or are you trying to keep like a total?
I've seen the trailer for, I don't know, 5,000 times.
Yep.
I wish I had some kind of extra clout, but they've got a lid on it. And I haven't seen anything else. I did get a little bit of stuff, research-wise. Not necessarily visual, but written. So, but no, I'm salivating for the movie, and I can't wait for it to come out.
We are too. Well, we actually are going to check out a dance-off that happened over on the Marvel stage. So let's take a look at that right now.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks.
Okay, bring it down. Okay, audience, this is hard. What
Oh
are
my
we
God.
thinking?
Little dancers. Tiniest dancers.
I'm going to say...
So the voices you're
I'm
hearing
gonna tell
out,
you
we're
where I was
still here with
feeling.
you. This is Lorraine.
Where I
And
was
Ryan.
feeling.
And oh my gosh, are we going to have,
Right here.
as
You're in
a
our
famous piano
competition.
man once said, tiny
We're going to be
dancers?
standing right over there. Thank you,
Oh,
guys.
did you already say?
I already said
Oh,
tiny dancers. Good
darn.
job, Lorraine. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to pick out who.
Okay,
where are
let's
my
see
guys?
how they
Where are my
do.
guys who want to dance?
And that's
Right there.
Mike.
You're up. Who
emceeing,
else?
The dance off for us.
We have to. This is 18 and over at this point.
I'm already
18 and
very
over.
excited about this
2,
tiny phoenix.
3, and 4.
I feel like
Come on up
either
right
way,
now.
she's like dark phoenixing super hard. If it doesn't go her way, she will burn this place to the ground.
I hope not.
Yeah, probably
Her
not.
parents
18
are
and over,
probably
buddy,
there.
sorry.
You're right. Good point. She won't go full
It's-
flame.
hey, I don't make the rules. 18 and over.
There's a guy on a phone.
I love this phone call. Big fan of it.
Yeah. We can't hear what's going on, so we're just experiencing this with you guys.
With the horse's head.
And we've
what-
got a spider horse.
What is happening?
The amazing spider horse. Okay. Guys, limber it up.
I hope it says no horseplay.
Sean, bring us a
Oh, this guy
He's
is.
just loosening it up.
Oh
Well,
my gosh.
Yes.
Okay, so they're a dynamic duo. Spider
need to
horse and brown T-shirt man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay,
You know
I'm gonna give it to Spider Horse. He's doing a lot of punching, but he's like really making it happen.
Totally.
Oh,
And the-
phone call guy is into it.
All right.
Like you have to
It's
have
a
some
clear
guts
winner.
to
You're in
go
the
up on the
competition.
stage, dance in front of
Hang on over
hundreds,
there.
kind of
All right,
thousands
off
of
with your horse.
strangers.
It's true.
It's
Thank
awesome.
you guys. I need my
Look
last
at that. They're all
contestant.
hugging. They're all
Females
happy.
over the age of
They're
Friends.
gonna be
18
friends for
only.
life because of this.
You're
Yeah.
up.
It's like
You're
their summer
up.
camp.
Over the age of 18 only. You're up. And you're
Okay.
up. Come on
They're
up.
Hope they
clearing the
win
stage.
something.
Oh, I hope so too.
So the kids.
I mean, it really
up
does
for a
take so
prize.
much guts
We
to get up
talked
there.
about
I
this.
don't know if
We're
I
gonna
could do
do
it. I
something
would
different.
want to
The
do
kids are
it,
gonna
but
get
I
their
would
prize separate
watch
from the
on
adults 'cause we wanna
from a
make it kinda
distance.
fair. So
Yep.
I've got a separate prize between those two. One
Characters
of them
with
will win.
cool hair.
I'm unfamiliar with this character, but
Yeah.
I won't ask these ladies their ages.
we've got a
but
few
limber
folks
come
up
to the front.
to get down.
Well, they've got a routine.
Ooh. Oh, they have a routine.
That's what it seems like.
Oh my gosh, I'm very excited about it.
Come on. I thought you guys could dance.
They're just going straight for it.
I feel a lot of womp womp, right? Are you guys feeling womp womp?
Yes.
I like
All right,
it.
you're
I like
up, you're
I like
up,
the
you're
sassiness. I like
I'm
the
gonna be honest.
confidence.
Got you in.
The gal on the left, she
Here's
was
the
like,
thing.
Way into
she,
it.
and she was
Two
good.
more
Like
volunteers.
She
those
was
are
good.
legit, just straight up.
For
She's
the
dancing. She's got the
NMRs.
moves.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 official
I wanna
Marvel dance off.
Like little kids dancing is the best.
Oh my gosh.
Because there's
you
like
dance. You need
all
to
the
be able to
coordination
dance.
isn't there,
That
but all
wasn't
the
dancing.
excitement.
like a
and all
lot of
the-
jumping and hand flapping,
Lord.
but it's my favorite thing.
Come on
Best
up,
part of a
over the age
wedding,
of
little
18.
kid dancing.
Yep.
Come on up. Come on up. One
Right,
more.
let's see who's up next.
One more.
Ooh,
Can you
Star-Lord and
dance? Come on
Mystique.
up. I'm picking 2 of you
And
out of this.
Red guy.
We'll say he could be any superhero just on a day off.
Yep.
Ooh,
And there's
fancy
a-
footwork.
Spider-Man.
Underoos.
Yeah, Good job, Lane. Yep.
Oh, Star-Lord is kicking it kid and play style.
Mystique is terrific.
She
All right,
is
all right.
into it, and I'm
I kinda
digging
think
it.
it's kinda clear.
She's like working the crowd down front.
Oh, yeah.
Mystique transformed into Michael Jackson right there. All right, so let me give you the rules. Kids, you're going to
That Mystique costume is so iconic and so
okay?
good.
You're
Like
gonna stand
that
aside. We're gonna have-
that was
Isn't it
designed
great?
like 35,
For the
40
boys. I
years
was
ago,
only talking
whatever
about
it
the
was.
girls.
And it's
Yeah, where's the
still
guys went?
like she's had like the black costume, but
okay.
you
Right.
it always
no,
goes
those-
back
no,
to
no,
like
no,
that
that
super
happened.
cool.
I need a guy.
Oh yeah,
One more guy.
It's so classic,
All right,
and the
come on up.
little skull
Skulls?
belt
Is that a guy or a girl?
is what we like to call in the biz dope.
I want to know
Sean, give him a beat
in
so I can
like
see if he's got
Mystique
some
in the
rhythm.
comics in her costume, is that
you dance?
flesh or is that
You think you
cloth?
can dance?
Because you know she like
right,
Oh,
let's
the
see Sean.
panel,
We're gonna
like
make you
the
dance that music
cutout.
right now.
well, no, she can
Yep.
shapeshift everything.
Right.
So is she shapeshifting like cloth? I don't like with
Oh.
a look. You know what I mean? 'Cause
And
you've
like if
seen
somebody tears her dress, does it hurt?
her. Ooh,
All right, you're good. So let me tell you, he's
that
good.
guy's doing some spins.
Get them spins done.
Oh.
Amazing.
Let me tell you about how this is going to work. So the adults are going to compete for the grand prize. Okay? Kids, we have a separate prize for the kids. The adults are going to come up in here. We're going to have 4 spots.
I guess they're
We're
regrouping,
going to play a beat.
figuring out what's going
You might
on.
have heard the song already from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So what is your name?
Sharika.
And where are you from, Sharika?
Okay, I think they're trying to figure
Jersey
out
in
like
the
they're whittling it down
house.
a little bit,
What part of
maybe.
Jersey?
Union.
All right, North Jersey in the house.
There's a door
I'm
opening on the
Central.
bottom right.
Come on over here. You're going
I
to be
see
over
that.
here, Sharika. Come on over. What's your name?
Lupe,
And where you from?
New York.
What part?
Manhattan?
All right, good. You didn't have to travel far today. All right,
I guess
we're gonna
Mike
have you
is,
right over here.
saying you did great. You're over here.
All right, what's your name?
Romel.
Romel? And where you from?
Brooklyn.
Okay, Brooklyn's in the house. What's your name?
Albert.
And where are you from?
Jersey.
What part?
Elizabeth.
Oh, we're getting closer to Central. All right, that works. Now, the way this works for the M&M's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 official Marvel dance-off
Okay.
So-
is
It looks like
I
it's
am
a
the
dance
judge.
to the death
Yeah,
or a
but
delight.
I'm
The
listening
dude
to
on the
all
left
of the jury.
is very intense.
So
I would put
they're
him
gonna
in my
be the
dance
ones
crew
voting
just
for you.
because he's got like a cool
They're the ones who are
aesthetic
gonna be
going.
voting, and I'm going to listen to
You know, he's
applause
like,
and
I'm
yells
too
and
cool to have my
shrieks
face
and excitement.
out.
And if
You
you're
know, he's
not
like giving
good,
it. I like it. I
you
appreciate
get
it.
the hook. But if you're good, oh, boy,
Oh
do
man,
we have
they
a
mean
prize
business
for you.
right now.
Yeah.
That guy took his hat off. It's getting serious.
The way it's going to work is I'm going to start with all 4 of you. I'm going to cull it down to 2 of you. And then the winner of that one is the grand prize winner. Are you ready? Are you limber? You know, I don't go in your
Okay.
work and tell you what
Things
to
are
do.
about to happen. They're moving. They're swaying.
No. Okay.
Mystique is
so here you go.
still step
Shake it
touching
up.
just a little bit, so you know.
Is that what you
it's-
call that?
Yeah, when you like
M&M.
step to the side and touch.
Guardians
Oh,
of the
here they
Galaxy
go.
Volume 2, official Marvel dance-off, New York Comic-Con 2017, and go.
They're all like hype manning themselves. I'm digging that.
There we
Ooh.
go.
Oh, snaps.
Whoa.
Oh, holy smokes.
I hope.
Oh,
whoa,
shoot.
Did that dude
Watch
flip?
the
Yes.
screen behind
What?
you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, these guys are straight up superheroes themselves.
She just did a split.
That's
She just did a split.
those.
What is
wow.
happening?
That is incredible.
Keep it going.
While
This
this
is for a big
is
prize.
going, we are gonna go.
So we're just about to wrap up. Let's see the big finish, and it seems like final moments.
They're on the floor.
Lots of spins. I mean,
All right,
honestly,
guys.
they're fantastic. And there you have it, you guys. The M&M's Guardians of the Galaxy dance off.
Yeah.
I'm like just impressed. I'm impressed
Yeah.
with the spins and the flips
Totally.
and the drops.
And I know you can actually dance, and you like to dance.
I
I've
like to
seen your
dance.
Instagram.
I do dance. It's true. Yeah.
And it's great. Me, nope. I can't
Ryan.
dance a lick,
Okay.
as they say.
Let's have an M&M's totally awesome dance-off right now. Except for it's just you by yourself dancing.
Nope.
Okay, cool. Great. Awesome. That's my favorite.
My seniority, I'll use that because I ain't dancing. Maybe some jazz hands. I could possibly throw some jazz hands.
Oh, I like it.
I
Very
love
good.
musicals. I
You
love a
guys,
good musical.
If you want Ryan to dance, just hashtag Marvel NYCC, and maybe he'll do it. How many tweets do you need to get you to dance? That's the real question.
10,000.
Cool. So 10,000 tweets. Tell your friends.
Every hour.
Yeah. Create like a bunch of Twitter accounts.
No,
10,000.
don't do that.
No,
That's
just kidding.
like
Just
some
kidding. Don't do that.
hacking
Don't do that.
nonsense.
Just kidding. Just kidding. But there's a lot more cool stuff coming up today. I think we should talk a little bit about some of the panels that are going to be coming up this week.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So we had Ronald Smith on
Yes,
before,
just a
but
moment ago.
there was also a panel with other Disney Publishing, Marvel authors. We had Jason Reynolds. He was on having a conversation with Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Oh my God, amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, Jason Reynolds is the writer of our Miles Morales YA book. Ta-Nehisi Coates has been working on Black Panther. Two awesome writers,
Yeah.
really charismatic guys.
Totally.
I
and
wish I could have been there.
Like Ta-Nehisi's Black Panther is incredible. The
Oh,
stuff
so
that
good.
he's been building to in that story and the like finding new ground in that world and like worlds beyond is incredible. And if you see, there was a little bit with some interesting stuff with Black Panther in Marvel Legacy #1 that I think might come to bear at some point.
Yeah, and speaking of Marvel Legacy, we have a couple of Marvel Legacy panels. We're also going to have the next big thing panel, which we're going to be showing a little bit later on in the live stream around 6 o'clock, I think. So you'll get to see more of that later on today.
Yeah, totally. Lots of fun stuff. We should see what's happening on the tweets.
We sure should. And if you guys want to interact with us, as we said, just hashtag Marvel NYCC. And if you want to check out all of the stuff that Marvel is doing here at the convention, you can go to marvel.com/NYCC 2017, where you can see photos and articles and breaking news and live tweets of panels. So like those panels that we just mentioned, the ones that are past, you can look at the live tweets right now and see all of the cool stuff.
Yep.
And it looks like something is
So
coming
the
in.
Iraq nerd tweets, come on, Agent M, just give us one spin. You know what, Peter Pumpkin? No.
Oh.
Yeah. Gavin
Keep
Perkins
tweeting.
wants me to dance. And yes, yay, love for musicals.
I love musicals,
Yep.
you guys.
Sophia, who has been watching our live streams for years from
Oh,
Spain.
we love you, Sophia.
We love
Hello.
Sophia, says that the dance battle was getting intense. Really good. If you guys aren't following Bill Roseman, who's executive creative director for Marvel Games, you totally should. He is here at New York Comic Con, and he's just posting up on using the Marvel NYCC hashtag, just great photos. There's a really awesome Spider-Man, Marvel's Spider-Man for PlayStation 4 cosplayer that he saw. He's with Ultron Sigma and some other fun stuff. You know, it's great.
Yeah, and we will be having Bill on at some point in the live stream talking to our correspondent Josh, who's from Marvel Gaming. So that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Do we have one last tweet?
There, you know, people were watching the dance off and really enjoying it.
And really wanting you to dance.
Yeah, it's been really, really great. And people really dug the sound of the Black Panther book, which comes out in January.
Yes, definitely check it out in January. But for right now, we have something really cool coming up next. It's Coffee and Comics with Michael Breacher. So definitely check that out right now.
Hey guys, welcome back. You are watching Marvel Live here at New York Comic Con 2017. I'm Ryan Penagos, aka Marvel's Agent M.
I'm Lorraine Sink, and we're here with, you might know him from Instagram as Barista Art, coffee artist Michael Breach. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
It's great. You're going to do some cool sort of latte art for us today, right?
Oh yeah, actually I do a lot of stuff with Marvel latte art wise, so I think this is actually going to be really fun to do it live here with you at Comic-Con.
Awesome. What are some of the characters you've already done?
I've done a lot of the different characters. I did a lot of Spider-Man and Fin Fang Foom. We've had some really awesome challenging ones that have really actually helped me grow as an artist, because Marvel, a lot of the characters there's a lot of things to them.
Yeah, I've seen you do some Star Wars characters, and it's just the breadth of what you've done has been amazing. So why don't we let you get started and tell us how this actually works.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Let's get going.
Awesome. So who is the first character that you're going to do for us today, or should it be a surprise as you create it?
I kind of like the surprise idea, to be honest.
Is it me? It might be me.
I'm going to give fans at home a little hint. This is Ryan's favorite character,
It
just
is.
about.
100%. He's big. He's sexy.
He's none of those things, really.
All right, so with this, the first step looks like you're steaming the milk. Is it whole milk? Cow's milk? Do you have goat's milk?
I could do goat's milk. I mean,
Ooh.
it could be buttermilk.
Cool.
Should we do all of Thor's goats, like tooth grinder,
Tooth gnasher and tooth grinder?
gnasher, tooth grinder, toothbrusher,
Yeah.
all of his goats, and do it with goat's milk?
I love that idea.
One of the little tricks I've learned working with Marvel is all the characters are so colorful that I've really had to step it up and like, all right, we need this to,
All
we
right.
need this guy to be green or this, this person to be purple.
So the milk it's now yellow. What made it yellow? Was it just like snot or?
I don't think that would be great to drink.
I mean, different strokes for different folks.
Fair, no judgies.
So now I'm gonna get this ready right here, and I guess I'm just gonna take a seat here and get going.
Do it up.
Awesome.
So he's using the traditional. What is that? Just a coffee stirrer? Is that a? Yeah.
Magic bamboo skewers.
Yes.
I think that we should talk about this character because folks who maybe haven't read as many of the comics might not know this character, and it's a great character.
Yes. You can see this character in the current video game, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
That's right.
Yeah, he shows up in the back of a level, and he taunts you in the story mode, and he's super cool there.
His name is an acronym.
Which has had multiple meanings over the years. People have chosen different things. There's a female version of this character. Michael, are those like edible dyes? What are those? What is that?
Yeah.
Ink?
Oh, everything's completely edible. So that's kind of the most fun part about these is I can actually drink these creations when I'm finished with them. And I mean, if he taunts me too much, I'll just drink them. So it doesn't really matter.
So what did you use? Food coloring to make it the yellow base?
Yeah, so I use this to make the yellow base, and then I just kind of, a lot of what I do is there's a lot of improvisation involved with this because it's just there's no real set way to do this, and again a lot of the fun thing about working with Marvel and stuff is that I get to just come in and experiment, and a lot of times I'll just come up with some crazy new idea and we'll do it, and it's just like wow. So I already have his face right here. I mean, it's already looking pretty gnarly.
Michael, how did you actually get started doing these? Was it just one day you were drinking your coffee and you're like, you know what? I want to draw stuff in this?
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. I was just working at a regular job at a hotel, and then one night I just kind of was like, maybe I could take latte art to strange new places, and that's kind of what I did. I put it out there online, and then I ended up just getting this, really big following, and it, really changed my life almost overnight.
I remember when we first noticed you we saw you on social media. Adri Cowan, who's our senior social media manager, was like, look at this guy and what he's doing. We need this all over. I was like, yeah, that's great. Let's get him. And it's been a really good partnership. We've probably done, I don't know, 50 of these, give or take, it feels like?
Yeah, it's been a lot, actually. It's kind of funny how regularly I am in the Marvel Studios, in the building and everything like that with and just kind of doing these pieces. And I used to draw a lot of comic book characters, so doing this, to me, just really comes second nature. Like, honestly, I'm not even really thinking about what I'm doing. I'm just kind of making this art as I speak, and it just kind of happens without me even thinking about it.
The nature of what you do is so ephemeral. It lasts the length of a coffee. Are there any that you're like, I wish I could keep that?
It's kind of funny. Like, I've always been just ready to let go of each piece. As long as, the only time I guess I do regret it is if I don't get a good photo of it. That's when it can be a little bit, because that's the only way to really save it. People will be like, oh, don't you want to, what's the point if you're not going to save it? It's like, well, I mean, you can't, I know it sounds cheesy, but I'm like, well, you can't really save watching a sunset or something like that either. It just kind of, it happens.
You can't save watching the sunset. I like that.
I like that. Those are words to live by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is so this is a standard, normal mug of coffee. Have you done different sizes? Have you ever experimented with, maybe like a bathtub?
That is actually something I'm interested in exploring. It's kind of funny. I started doing them on cocktails and stuff here and there too, which is pretty funny. So it's, there's a lot you can do with foam. I'll just put it that way.
Oh, I know. I'm very familiar with the many uses of foam.
Like what?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's a family show.
Great. So, Ryan.
Lorraine.
This character is a mechanism.
Super kissable? Oh.
No, that's weird. That's super weird.
I mean, whatever.
I mean,
it's fine.
well, he has some redeeming qualities, like when he fell in love with Maria Hill.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's cute.
Yeah.
He's a mechanism only designed. Wait, mechanism that's organic, that's designed only for killing. Is that right?
You've just destroyed my brain.
Well, it's a long acronym. Why do you love him so much?
I think he's cool. He's weird. He's a really great design by Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of say that about anything Jack Kirby created is cool. It has a very iconic look. Is classic and instantly recognizable. Even this character has gone through different iterations and different versions over time and still retains that sense of weird and creepy and cool of Jack's original creation.
And I like that he wears a jeweled headband.
Yeah. Look at them little arms and legs.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are the hardest parts of creating this art?
Actually, I didn't know if I would fit his whole body in there, and I'm like, cool, it actually worked out. He's right here. He's chilling.
So the original art for this was created by Eric Powell about 10 years ago, 10 years ago for a comic featuring this character. We haven't named him yet, but I feel like it's pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's MODOK. MODOK.
If you didn't know, now you know.
He's
This
my
is
bae.
MODOK. He is not nice. That's kind of his thing.
He's had his moments.
He's designed only for killing.
Yes. Originally, it was computing. Or somewhere in there was some computing, and he was just
yeah,
like,
but
hey.
then he decided he liked murder more.
Yeah, he's not nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's super cool.
Thank you. I think he's coming out. He's looking pretty fresh here. One last little bit. I got to add this brown color.
Yeah, we're elevating him here.
Let's see.
So what is that little stamp that you do?
Here,
Okay.
we'll actually elevate him right now. Here we go.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Give it up to Michael for just creating this right here, right now.
Right in front of all of us. That's incredible.
Thank you.
So you can see more of Michael's comics and coffee art on the Marvel Instagram, but also, Michael, what is your Instagram?
Oh, my Instagram is Baristart, so it's like Barista RT.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned. More from Marvel Live at New York Comic Con coming right up.
Hello and welcome to...
You are watching Marvel Live at New York Comic Con 2017. I'm Ryan Panagos.
I'm Lorraine Sink, and we're joined by artist Ed McGuinness. Welcome.
Hey. Hi, Ed.
Yeah,
How's it
hi.
going?
How you doing?
I felt really bad because, Ed, you and I, we've been buddies for a while. We both love the wrestling. And we had
Oh my God, are you
some
guys gonna
friends
wrestle right now?
here earlier today.
I guess not.
Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. I talked to them. They were great. They say hello.
From the New Day.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have met them guys.
I know. But have you ever drawn wrestlers? Like, have you ever had commissions for drawing wrestlers at shows or whatever?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I just had a commission for a Finn Balor piece where he's like
as the demon, and
demon?
it was basically like a symbiote, almost like Venom.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
Have you seen when he was in Japan?
Oh,
So
yeah.
Finn Balor
Oh,
is this
yeah.
wonderful wrestler, very fit man, and he was in Japan, and he used to do full body paint. And I got introduced to him, actually introduced to him. We were talking for a while because he would do Carnage, Venom, Nova,
cool.
all Scarlet Spider, Spider-Man, like all kinds of super cool body paints for big events in Japan.
Oh,
and it was
neat.
great.
Oh, it was amazing. I actually used a lot of stuff from him from online when I was drawing Spider-Man Deadpool. He was my Spider-Man reference, my go-to.
Oh, really? I was just going to ask, because it seems like wrestlers would be a good sort of reference. What kind of references do you like to use in general?
It depends. I mean, before, years ago, I kind of just regurgitated comic art, which I think everybody goes through. But, a lot more recently, and, the past bunch of years, I've been going with more realistic stuff and just kind of incorporating it in. And, wrestling is always a good resource for that stuff because these guys are always doing insane moves. And it's like, like AJ Styles with like a phenomenal foot. It's like the most heroic move I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he's up there like
it's
this.
like insane.
He looks like Captain America when he's up there.
Exactly. So stuff like that. I've been watching that since I was a kid,
good
so it's super inspiring anyways. but-
Totally.
Good fighting reference, too, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, we've got something new that we're trying here.
Yeah.
And you are our victim.
guinea pig,
you are our friend, and you are coming to do this with us. And so we're going to spin this around. We've got this cool plexiglass thing that hopefully doesn't tip over. Thank you, Sarah. And you are going to do some drawing on this while we're
I'm gonna
here.
attempt. I'm gonna attempt it. It's never been done before, right?
No.
Never been done before.
Nope.
Kids, don't try this at home.
No, yeah,
What do you? Who are you gonna draw?
I've done a little bit of a rough of like just the Hulk. He's fun because if I mess up with marker, he's pretty angry. So striation lines can they're mess ups, but they it's part of the actual art. So.
Yeah. And how long were you on the Hulk? You were on Hulk with Jeff, right?
Yeah, I was on there for a while.
Yeah.
A
Jeff
bunch
Loeb.
of issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun run. Had such a great time. It was one of my all-time favorite characters, and working with Jeff was absolutely amazing. He's like my uncle. I swear, he really
Everybody's uncle, Jeff Loeb.
Yeah.
That's a great show.
And we should say that the way that we're working on this is kind of harkening back to a series that we do called Quick Draw, where we interview artists and we watch them draw and kind of see a little bit about what their process is. So we're going to let Ed draw as we chat with him and see how it goes.
Do you have kids or anything? Like, do you have people yammering in your ear normally when you draw?
Yeah, how hard is this going to be for you?
This is how I actually learned how to draw because I didn't do anything in high school but draw. So, that's pretty much it. That's at home, don't do that. Pay attention in school, but that's what I basically did was I just drew the entire time.
Yeah, so distractions aren't a big deal.
No, I'm kind of used to it, so.
I could say butts. Will that make you end up drawing a butt? No.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Damn it. I tried.
When you work at home, do you usually work, like what medium do you like to work with? Do you like to use pencil? Do you like to use digital?
I'm pretty much a purist, old school. I just do, pen and ink on the actual paper. It feels much more comfortable. A lot of the newer generation, they've grown up with the computer and stuff like that. Whereas for me, it wasn't until later, I got all my hands on that stuff. But these kids now, they can do everything, and it's amazing. But for me, it's just I have to feel the actual paper.
But ink, that's confident. I would need a pencil and a lot of erasers.
I have erasers, believe me, and I use them.
Yeah. And it's also cool because you can print out what you've drawn digitally, but I own some original pages of art, and there's nothing that can replace that.
Nothing. There's something about it.
Yeah.
There's something nostalgic about it, and that's the only way. I mean, I'd love to learn how to color and stuff like that, but as far as doing my process digitally, and I'm not downing anybody that can do it because they're just able to do some pretty amazing things, and sometimes way faster.
Yeah.
Literally.
Sure. Yeah.
But there's just something that I think you can't replace.
Well, we are going to stay here. Ed's going to keep drawing. And right now we have for you guys a very special Marvel booth tour with Walt Hickey. Let's check it out.
Hello and welcome to New York Comic Con. I'm here at the Marvel booth. My name's Walt Hickey from 538. Joining me today is a project manager from Marvel for themed entertainment, Beth Bryson. Beth, how's it going?
Going great, man. New York Comic Con.
It's the best time of the year. So we have a ton of events lined up today over here at the Marvel booth. Do you want to go through just what's going on this Thursday alone?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a huge day today. We're kicking things off with Thwip Live here on stage. We tried this for the first time a couple months ago. Had an absolute blast with it at our last Comic Con, so we're really excited to have them here live on stage. Be sure you guys come by and check it out. We're going to be going on to two of my favorite things after that, coffee and comics together with art. I mean, it can't get any better than that. So come by and watch a live drawing happening here on stage. We're going to go right on into another great show later on this afternoon. Marvel Universe Live is going to be doing flips and thwips live.
We can actually hear them in the background. If you hear voracious punching going on, there's not a mugging going on. It is just rehearsal for that cool thing. So tell us more about what's going on later today.
So later today, they're going to be hitting the stage this afternoon, Marvel Universe Live, and then we're going to finish out the day with Kabam. So for those of you who are not familiar, Contest of Champions, one of my new personal favorite games, is going to be doing a very special character reveal right here on stage, and it's not something that you guys are going to want to miss.
So folks who might be new to this, folks who might not have played Contest of Champions, this is a solid time to come out and check to see what's coming up.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've also got a Lego demonstration that's happening right here in the booth all weekend long, so don't miss that either.
So tell me more about the weekend coming up. I know that there's a lot of shows coming out, there's a lot of just great topics to talk about. What's going on over here at the Marvel stage, maybe Friday and Saturday?
So Friday and Saturday we have a couple of different signings that are going to be happening, especially Saturday is going to be packed full of all kinds of television signings. The Runaways is going to be coming out soon, so everybody is very excited for that. They'll be here at our stage. We also have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be coming by this weekend as well, and The Gifted from Fox. Great new show if you guys haven't checked it out yet. First episode has already aired, so you're definitely going to want to check that out as well.
All right, and then on Sunday I saw something cool on the schedule, the Black Eyed Peas?
The Black Eyed Peas are going to be...
What are they doing at the Marvel booth?
So the Black Eyed Peas worked on a novel with us, a graphic novel called Masters of the Sun. They're great guys. They're so much fun. They'll be here doing a signing. They're also doing a panel on Sunday. We should also maybe mention that The Weeknd is going to be stopping by on Saturday.
That's a thing that you should have brought up on Saturday. That's awesome.
I know. Now that I'm thinking about it, retroactively.
So just lots of folks coming in and out of the Marvel booth the whole time.
Yep, all weekend long.
What are you most looking forward to?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I've had a really fun time playing the Lego demonstration. This afternoon's Marvel Universe Live is going to be a highlight, and Marvel Day at Sea is going to be stopping by with Spider-Man on Sunday.
All right, so just a real jam-packed schedule here at the Marvel booth, right in the center of the exhibition hall. Beth Bryson, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I've been Walt Hickey from 538. Thank you.
Hello, you guys. We're still here with Ed McGuinness, who's working on the Hulk currently, but you're also working on Marvel Comics. What are you currently drawing?
Well, I don't think we can talk about what Ed's currently drawing yet. I checked with Marvel Talent to make sure about that. We can't talk about what Ed's got going on soon, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be big. It's going to be really cool. But most recently, you wrapped up a run on Spider-Man Deadpool.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, which was like Itsy Bitsy is a creepy as hell character.
Yes, she is.
You guys are messed up. That storyline.
That's Joe Kelly, man. That's all him.
How did it feel coming back to Deadpool with Joe?
Oh, it was great. It was great. I love how Joe writes Deadpool. I really do. I missed working with him, and it was such a fun time. And to get to draw Spider-Man, and he writes one of the best Spider-Man versions of Spider-Man. So the whole run was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
How do you guys kind of work together? What's your rapport like? Do you kind of just get the script and get to drawing, or do you guys have conversations about it?
Pretty much we talked about a couple of things before we started, and just went to town, and as things would come in, Joe and I have a pretty good relationship with stuff because we've worked in the past and we're comfortable. So if I was, he gave me the freedom to pretty much change whatever, as long as it didn't change the entire outcome, but to kind of fly a little free with it, and change layouts, or just how the number of panels on a page. Sometimes I'd add panels, sometimes I'd combine stuff if I thought it just helped the story along better. Yeah, he's really cool like that. Just allow me to have a little bit of freedom with that stuff.
I love that.
No, it's so cool. A couple tweets that came in. Gavin Perkins says, I have a great respect for comic book artists. Wish I could draw. Gavin, you just gotta, pick up like a bunch of art books to that. The way you start, I mean, I'm sure it's different for everybody. Did you like train, or were you just like a born gifted, brilliant, amazing artist that you are?
Talent can only bring you so far. There's hard work that goes into it. I always knew I wanted to draw. Like I said, I spent a lot of time in high school really I want to draw comics, so what do I have to know? So I bought books and I really explored it. Nowadays, it's actually even easier with things like YouTube and the internet, which, we didn't have that.
Yeah.
Like back then, there was no YouTube, but I'll go onto YouTube now, and I'm constantly still learning. It never stops.
Yeah.
So it's just the talent, I think, is partially just the desire and the willingness to do it. But hard work is like with anything, it just doesn't happen on its own. You got to put the hours in and get better.
Yeah.
And it doesn't ever stop. The second that I think I'm done, I should probably just retire because you know what I mean. Because what's the point? You stop learning. And the fans can see that.
Yeah, like having been a fan of yours for your entire career, like I've seen your work evolve, change, and get better over time.
Thank you, I appreciate
which is,
that.
like I remember, like way back when, like the Deadpool stuff your original Deadpool stuff looks vastly different from the most
I don't know
recent
why
stuff.
they hired me. I don't but hey,
But it was so dynamic and kinetic at the time, and it's so good. But look at it now; it's like a whole different person.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's so great. It's a beautiful
just,
change.
You just have to be your own worst critic sometimes. I mean, there are things that I'll do that I'll be pretty happy with, but a week later I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh man, that I don't even want to look at that. And you just move. It makes you want to get better and move forward.
Totally. We had a good question in here. Quick one for you, Ed, from Sophia. She asks, is it harder for you to draw on a vertical surface or your normal board, which I imagine is sort of slanted like 45 degrees or so?
Yeah, the normal board's about the 45 degrees. That's funny. Yeah, this is a little bit different, but I'm kind of acclimating to it. But
You're going to start working on Plexi from now on, right?
I think this is the new medium, actually.
All right, there you go.
Well, we could do clear covers for the comics, and we could do them this way, and that's a simple reproduction.
There you go. And we actually have some cool stuff coming up. Ed's going to keep working, and we're going to check out a booth tour with Marvel's Contest of Champions with our gaming correspondent, Josh Sallee. And Marvel Contest of Champions is such a fun game.
Yes.
It's so cool, and there's a character reveal coming up later today, so you're going to want to stay and watch that as well.
Yeah, I'm like a very dedicated Contest of Champions player, so this is pretty cool, and I've got contest shirt on.
Yeah, you do. Let's check that out right now, you guys.
Hey guys, it's Josh Sallee with Marvel Gaming. I'm here at New York Comic Con in front of the Contest of Champions booth. I am with Gabriel. He is the art director. And what else do you do, Gabriel?
I do everything they ask me. Sweep the place, clean everything, and yeah.
Awesome. Well, I got some few questions for you.
Yeah.
For someone who's new to the gaming world and the mobile gaming world, can you tell us a little bit about Contest of Champions?
Well, Contest of Champions is a mobile fighting game that we released in 2014. It was built from the ground up to be a mobile experience, right? We didn't try to port it, and because we always felt that the experience of the fighting game was a little bit different with the touchscreen. So we created this game from the ground up to be a cool fighting game for the mobile, with the coolness of Marvel, of course, right?
Yeah.
So we've been only growing and adding more characters in the last like 2.5 years, 3 years almost. So yeah, the experience is getting bigger and bigger.
That's awesome. Now, 3 years, that is huge. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
What have been some successes to the game and making it new and engaging for people?
Well, we keep adding new features and new modes. Like we didn't have like alliances in the beginning, which is something really big for players right now. They like to play together. They like to engage in conversation and exchange different strategies. So yeah, of course, new content. Every month we come up with a different story, different characters attached to the story. Sometimes it's connected to a Marvel event, like a movie or a publishing event. We had like new characters. We created new characters with the Marvel Games guys. Original characters there, like Guillotine, that was created for the comics and the games at the same time. And she's now part of the 616 universe, so we're really proud about that. So we always try to release new content so nobody will ever get bored with this game. they always like come back. You know, they want more, so we want to release more and more, and we want this game to last like 10, 20 years. You know, so yeah, we're always creating new stuff.
And that's huge, the ability to create your own character.
Yeah.
Like Marvel giving you that, that's huge.
Yeah.
Now, we are here at the booth. Can you tell us a little bit about the booth and what you guys are doing here?
Oh, the booth, this year is all about competition. You see those guys behind us. We want all the hardcore players to come and compete to see who's best. So you see there's a bunch of people that coming from all over. Some of those guys we know from online. They're really, really good, and they've been playing since the beginning sometimes, right? So we created this mini tournament. You have to come here and you show us your roster. And there's a one fight against Ultron, which is hard, but it's not that hard. I think people that play the game can do it. And then if you win, you get a ticket. You go to the qualifying to play one of the bosses. It will be a different boss every day. New characters. We have Mephisto, we have Morningstar, and we have Blade. If you beat the qualifier, you get to the best 3 players get to play in the stage in the semifinals, and then the grand final. You have like a trophy in the end. It'd be super cool.
You think you would win?
No, not at all. I'm not that good. I try to catch with those guys, but no, those guys play every day. They're really committed to the game, and I'm super busy creating new characters, and I play every day, but I'm not that good.
One thing I love about Marvel games is they allow you to choose your own team.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a gateway to your Marvel soul, if you will.
Yeah.
What would be your team of choice?
My team of choice, I would have to have MODOK in there. Guillotine, of course, because she's our baby. And I love Star-Lord, how he plays in the game, and I have a really good 5-star Star-Lord. And I love the Juggernaut because he beats really, really strong. I know, there's so many. I like the Vision. I like Morningstar, is the new character we created. She's like a villain for Guillotine. And I like the Civil Warrior because it's a character that we created. There's a mix between Captain America and Iron Man. And that design was used in the Secret Empire event, so we really like that. So yeah, I like the characters that are closer to my heart because I helped create with Marvel. Even though sometimes they're not the best playing characters, but I love them because they're closer to me.
That's awesome. And you guys have a guillotine here, cosplaying that you guys could take a picture with, which is really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And demo the game. You guys have everything in this booth, which...
Yeah, you have prizes and everything. Prizes, and you can come and check the game. If you never played, there's a demo station. Or if you're really good, you can play with those guys and see who's best. And I see some familiar faces in there. Yeah, we're here all day. You can ask questions. Everybody that's here works in the game and put their passion and their heart every day in the game. So you can come talk to us. If you have like anything you want to ask or anything you want to, you think could be better, we're always listening because we want this game to like last a long time and be always better.
Thank you, Gabriel, so much. Thank you so much. Guys, this is Josh Slay signing off at New York Comic Con.
Back.
And we're back.
We did it, y'all. That was awesome.
Ed McGuinness here is just finishing up his work on the Hulk. It looks awesome. Is there a character that you have not gotten to work on very much that you have always wanted to work on or that you want to work on more?
My next project, which I can't say, some characters that I would really like to work on.
So it's Lorraine and I, right?
It's us.
Exactly.
Our superhero tales.
Because we do actually have superheroes.
Yep.
Yours is the Stash,
yes.
I believe, and
I
mine
wonder
was.
Why? I don't know. Someone
Because
brave
there's
must have come
nothing
up with that.
distinct about
I could be your
face.
sidekick. I got a little one going. I had to shave it this morning with
And
the
his
phone.
Called the Van Dyke? The
I don't
Stash
know
and the Van
what
Dyke?
it's called. It's
That's
called
the
when you live in Maine and you can't grow a full beard. You need something on your face. That's all that's called.
Can we name him Mustachio?
Ooh,
I feel
Mustachio.
good about it. And mine is, I think
Rain-
mine is slightly rainy,
Yeah,
which
like-
is I can just make slight rainstorms, like a really bad version of Storm.
Yes. Awesome. So how you feeling about this Hulk?
I'm feeling like I'm pretty much at the end of it. I don't think I can really do
Did
much
you
more.
sign it?
No,
That's
I
the most
haven't done that
important
yet.
part.
Did you ever have a because I remember back Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld, back in the day when the signatures were like scrolls and there was all this adornment for the signatures. Did you ever have one of those?
I was the opposite. I actually had to be convinced to sign a lot of my stuff because I always felt like it took away from the work because I don't know, I just always felt like that. So I'd be I'd try to find a spot and then, you end up selling art and stuff and, art agents are like, you got to sign that thing. So I'm like, all right, but a lot of times I just sometimes wouldn't find. I just would feel weird about it. I don't know why.
What a humble gentleman.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I for one love the big signatures because I think I immediately can tell if I can't tell who the artist is just by their style, which sometimes happens because everybody's style changes or they're doing something different. Seeing their name there is great.
Yeah, my mom actually, side note, just sent me a picture of my first frame commission from 1991 as a very tiny child.
That's awesome.
And I was like, I can't believe this still exists, and I didn't manage to ruin it.
Yep.
So it's pretty impressive.
Just for the record, Gavin Perkins says, I would buy a book starring Agent M and Lorraine Sink. So we've got one sale.
One
at
sale.
McGinnis,
We just need a couple million more.
Yep, just a couple.
10,000 tweets to get Ryan to dance.
Yep.
And then we're done.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get Ryan to dance in general. How do you feel? Should we debut the Hulk so that everybody can check it out?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm going to just keep noodling it, so you have to take these away from me at some point.
I'm going to put this white paper so we can really make it pop for you guys.
Oh, man.
How
Look at that.
cool is that? I like that it's like you kind of discover
Like a weird shadow behind there. It looks neat.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Oh, I love that. That is beautiful.
And so what we're going to do with that is we're going to smash it right
Hulk
over somebody's
smash.
head.
No, we won't.
Tradition.
No? No? Oh. I guess we should probably do something productive with this and like frame it.
Yes, I
Okay.
think that's better. The better way to do it.
So you did this Hulk in, I don't know, conservatively like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. I had little tiny markups just for guidelines because can't do a lot of construction, so I just didn't want to. But yeah,
on
about
clear
15
glass.
Yeah.
Even.
And so, how many, pieces do you do when you're down in Artist Alley?
Probably too many. Let's put it this way: I have to bring stuff back to the hotel and get stuff.
Oh, you're one of those.
I am one of those guys. I don't do a lot of the hanging out. Yeah, it's hard to say no. It's why I need an agent because I'll give the stuff away. I did for years.
Oh, well, that's really sweet. But probably not a good business.
Not a great idea.
Sure.
Do you have a favorite commission that you're working on for this con?
Oh my word.
You're like, how many? So many.
Oh boy, there's been so many. I have a Hulk commission that I'm doing. Planet Hulk commission.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
very
I'm having
cool.
fun with that one.
Yeah.
So.
Well, where can fans find you online?
I'm on my Instagram once in a while.
Once in a while. I tagged you on Instagram to make sure we can, people can see you on there.
Yeah, I am on Instagram once in a while. I literally took it off my iPad and I put it on like once a week because it was not productive because there's so much eye candy on there and it's like I'm constantly scrolling and it's like I need to be working.
Yeah.
So that was a self-disciplinary measure.
Smart.
That I had to take,
Nice.
There you
to
go.
get work done.
Yeah.
So.
Next up, we have an episode of Marvel's Becoming featuring Groot.
Hi, I'm Lee Hurley of Hurley Effects, and today I am becoming Groot. I originally decided to try and make Groot because he was going to be purely CGI. He's so big and he was CGI on screen, he had to be CGI. And I wanted to test myself and see what sort of practical creature I could make of him. I like the challenge. I would say that it was 50% luck, 50% planning that got it to all line up so well. Everything was sculpted in clay. I started with the head sculpt, was the first thing that I decided to do. Once I sculpted the head, I took a cast of latex just to see how it fitted. And then I decided it would have the extra wow factor if I could actually talk in it and have the mouth and the face move to a certain extent. So I decided to make a silicone cast. I think I did the legs next, and then the torso, then the arms, and finally the hands. The leg molds we estimated were around 400 pounds. I think it's a minor miracle I didn't break the apartment all myself when I was casting those. The costume itself, I think, weighs around 65 pounds, I want to say, but the bulk of that is on my shoulders with the suspenders that hold the legs up, because the legs are by far the biggest piece. It's hot and heavy and not very comfy, to be perfectly honest. I've always been interested in creatures. It's kind of freeing because I'm not the most confident person, so being inside of a creature gives me a little bit more self-confidence because people can't see me blushing. And the attention at DragonCon was beyond anything I ever expected. I remember coming around and there was a line of people there waiting to take photos. They started chanting Groot, so I went in and sort of did the baby Groot dance. But the reaction is worth it. It's a nice buzz to have that much love thrown at you.
We're back.
And I changed where my leg was. How about that?
Oh, wow. Change of continuity.
You know what?
Ooh.
Things are happening.
Hot dang.
Yes.
If you guys are just tuning in, I'm Lorraine Sink.
I'm Ryan Panagos.
And we're at New York Comic Con 2017, the coolest show in town, man.
So one of the things we want to do, we changed up the show a whole bunch of ways this year.
Yeah.
But you maybe came up with this hashtag game?
Yeah, we're doing some hashtag games. We asked you guys to tweet us using the hashtag Marvel NYCC, FTW, as in for the win, and tell us what superhero power you would like to have to get you through New York Comic Con. What might be useful? And people have been tweeting in. You guys can continue to tweet in and use that hashtag or hashtag Marvel NYCC to just ask us questions, to talk to our guests.
Yeah.
So we got some tweets.
We got some tweets.
Yeah.
Tall bloke at Gary underscore tall bloke.
Already listening.
Yeah, I know you are. Says to have a new random power every day I woke up for the day. Codename would be roulette. So that's cool. So like that is that kind of a cheating answer, but I like it because I like cheating.
Oh yeah. The best power is to have all the powers.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously.
Every day it could be like, oh, I look at things and they turn into marshmallows. And then the next day it's like, my feet are glue and I can walk on walls.
Your powers are weird.
Those are normal powers. That's legit. Anyway. Yeah. Spankster1904 says, I would choose the World Breaker Hulk and pick up the New York Comic Con and bring it back to San Diego because I missed it.
I'm so into that. That would be pretty great. I would just like move it closer to my apartment so that I could just walk out of my apartment and then be at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Fede Campo, who I tweet with a bunch, says, it would be awesome to have telepathy to know what the hosts or artists and actors can't say about their work. So I imagine Fede would want to know what book Ed McGuinness is working on.
I know. That's the thing that's like the fun of New York Comic Con, but also sort of the hard part is that you find out these cool things are happening and you have to wait to hear them get announced. And hopefully you get to hear it at home. And you have to like...
Eventually.
Yes.
Yeah. Pat Aldo, who we know, says, invisibility, to gain access to all the exclusive Marvel content. I like that because invisibility can be, like, nefarious, but nope, Pat was like, yeah, I just want to see all the cool things.
Yeah, not like steal all the exclusives, just like, I want to watch and hang out.
Yeah.
Aw.
It's nice.
It's the best.
Cynthia says, teleportation, so I can travel thousands of miles to see those awesome panels in real life.
Oh my gosh, come on over. That would be great.
Yeah.
Pop on by. Or get a lockjaw.
Cynthia can't.
Oh.
Oh. Similarly, Moonboots861, like that name.
I do too.
At Moonboots861 says, teleportation. Why? Because I live in England.
Well, I like that you asked the question and answered yourself.
Yeah. I would also like teleportation to go to England.
Yeah.
I love England.
We could trade these.
Yeah.
Take us to England.
I would like to see my friend James and go to our favorite pub to have Sunday roast. That would be great. That's a thing that I do when I'm in London. It's no big deal. Anthony Riley says the power to cut to the front of any line. That would be super helpful.
That would be so great, especially, usually when the floor opens, everybody runs to the booths where they want to get their exclusive stuff. And so you could just like blink yourself into each booth, be like, exclusive, blink, blink, exclusive, blink, blink, exclusive. That's how it works, right?
But you have to say that every
Blink,
time.
blink, yeah.
Jimmy S. Rodriguez, I, says the power of flight so I could actually get there to attend. Emoji crying face.
Oh, don't cry. There will be many more New York Comic Cons, and you can come to that one, pal.
But I like the difference between some people are like, I want to teleport and get there instantly. And Jimmy's like, I just want to like roll up. I want to fly there.
He does things the proper way, the right way.
Ducat Naranek says, matter phasing like Kitty Pryde. Crowds would be super easy to navigate then. That is legit.
That is like a super brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine when everything's really crowded and you just are like, man, I want to get where I'm going. You could just walk through people.
When you say it like that.
It sounds creepy when you say it that way, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. One last one. Asserman22 says, shape-shifting so I could always have the perfect cosplay. That is cool. Yeah, you're like, hey, I want to be Lorraine. I'm going to be Lorraine. Ooh, I want to be Ryan. Bloop, I'm Ryan. And that's all you would cosplay as, right?
Yeah, because we have our own comic now.
Yeah.
Right?
Drawn by Ed McGuinness.
Yep. That's not canon. Anyways, you guys, we have some more cool stuff coming up here very soon.
Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, New Day. What's up, gentlemen?
Yeah. Fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Better now that y'all are here.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's real. The love is real.
It is
The love
legitimate
is so real.
and
You
real.
feel it? All inside the chest.
For years. I remember, I think it was I like that. Yeah. A couple of years ago at San Diego, we were like, it was before New Day was fully like coming together. And talking to E, and he was just like, yeah, we're doing a thing. We got something going on. I was like, yeah? Okay. And now, it's like 3 or 4 years later, New Day is one of the biggest things in wrestling.
It's crazy.
It feels good. It makes me happy knowing you guys are genuinely like good dudes. You love what you do. And you are our people. You are nerds. You are
100%.
like, straight up video game, comics, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
It's cool to be able to be in that position of like living our dream as like WWE superstars, but then not having to like hide this side of us. To be able to go out and be like, no, it's fine to be a nerd. Kids, you can come out. It's fine. You're gonna be good as an adult. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And what brings you guys to New York City?
With Up Up Down Down gaming channel that I run. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Plug. We're having a big Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite tournament between some of the superstars. Kofi is in the tournament.
That's right. He's all up in it. It's like I said on my my Twitter page, I might change my name to Victor because I'm finna take all the spoils. You understand? To the victor goes the spoils. For those kids who don't know the quote, look it up.
Who's your team? Do you have a go-to already in
You're trying to
MVCI?
get all the details,
Yeah,
man.
well,
I can't give it to you
investigative
now. I
journalist
can't
that I
give it to
am.
you now. You're going to see it on the stream. You're going to see it on the stream.
It's going to be good, but we got Greg Miller hosting.
Yep.
We're paired up with IGN. They'll be live streaming it.
Yep.
It's going to be a good time. It's the first time that esports and WWE have been mashed together. So legit been trying to do this for like 3 years.
Yeah.
This is kind of the culmination of everything that I've been doing with the gaming channel, everything Kofi's been helping me doing, everything, all the talent that have been on the show have been helping me doing, people behind the scenes in the office, like Matt Burson over there, hooking it up.
Shout out, there he is.
We got a whole Up Up Down Down team that's been really just pushing for everything. And so the fact that we're able to do this and we're at this level now, it's like, I don't want to get like emotional, but it's like very heartwarming because like this is the vision that I've had and it's finally coming to fruition. So tonight is a huge night for us.
That's awesome. And Greg, Greg gets a little randy, a little
Yeah,
rowdy.
he gets a little intense. When, so I hosted Kind of Funny Live 3 a few months ago,
Yeah.
and he turns up a little bit. So I figured, favor for favor, I got to host for him, so he's gonna come through and host for us. But I feel like there's gonna be things that are like real intense that happen. So you better watch.
Are you in the tournament, or are you
Currently, no. I'm general manager of overseeing the whole thing.
Fair.
I bring the games to the people. I want to make sure everyone experiences this. It's like you set up the arcade machine or the arcade bar, what have you, and then you watch the people enjoy themselves. So that's what I'm here for.
I like that. So then, if you're not playing, do you have a team that you go to for MVC?
My go-to team is the Hot Boys, which we got Ghost Rider and Dormammu.
Okay, I was just thinking Mike Hagar because he ain't got no shirt on. That's a hot boy to me.
I did start with a Hagar because
I
he's
love
got
him.
sweet throws in the air.
He's super fun.
Yeah.
He pulls out the pipe and everything.
Yeah.
He's
It's
a
so
lot of
nostalgic too, like watching him play. Like, how is Hagar in this game, man? Like, it's so awesome.
We were promoting the game, and then I pulled out Final Fight 2 on Super Nintendo, and I was just like, oh, I don't want to stop playing this.
Yeah.
Those games are so good, so fun, and it's nice to see those characters brought into this stuff.
For sure.
What were your games, like your favorite games to play as kids?
For me, Mario Kart Double Dash, Mischief Makers on N64.
I don't even know what Mischief Makers is.
Dude, it's so good. It's we'll talk afterwards.
Okay.
And River City Ransom on regular Nintendo.
Yes.
So. Well, I mean, you talked about Final Fight, so I instantly went to Streets of Rage.
Yes,
Streets of Rage
2 was
my
my
homeboy with the rollerblades. You know what I'm saying? What was his
Blade,
name?
wasn't it Blade?
Was it Blade?
I think it was Blade, and 3 had the kangaroo.
Yeah.
Yes, and the old man robot.
Yep.
They don't make games like that anymore.
No.
We always talk about that, and like it's awesome how far games have come as far as being like graphically, amazing and awesome smooth gameplay. But there's something to just like the simple, just 2-button game. You know what I mean? Like just a simple game. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, yeah. The level of complexity is great, but they were doing complex things with little like opportunities back then. And it's fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
So also, you got this weekend. You've got this big event with IGN, WWE, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And then you've got some other things going on. And then Sunday, y'all are in Hell in a Cell.
Oh yeah.
In a cell.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's real.
We're real nervous about it. As you should be as you go into any type of match. But Hell in a Cell, for one, it's super important to us because what we've tried to do as the New Day is just do everything we can to raise the tag division up to the next level.
Yeah.
And so getting the opportunity to be inside of the Hell in a Cell up against the Usos is huge for us, huge for them, huge for the company. And every time we get in there with them, they bring out the best in us, and we bring out the best in them. This heated rivalry, we can't stand them.
Yeah.
We can't stand them, but they turn us to the next level. It's like Frieza coming down. Goku has to turn up, so we just go Super Saiyan.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all of us, all 5 of us, every time we approach a match situation, we have like the mentality of really just wanting to kill it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like just like brutally. You know what I'm saying? It's more. For me, like when I was doing single stuff, I would go in with that attitude. But even now, it's more so because we know, like you were talking about, the New Day in terms of where we came from, and we're not supposed to be here. According to a lot of people, we weren't supposed to make it this far.
Yeah.
And now we're the first tag team in Hell in a Cell. All the history, the historical matches that have been in Hell in a Cell, and just the things that they've been able to do. And we want to top all of that. So. It is definitely like a nervous feeling, but definitely an excited and anxious feeling, just wanting to go out there and steal the show. I mean, every time that we've gone out there with the Usos, we feel like we've done that every single time. Not to toot our own horns, but toot toot. You know what I'm saying? Toot toot.
We have the permanent ship.
Yeah.
Unremovable. We're just constantly.
Lay's, Fritos, Doritos, Cheetos. Just all up on our shoulders, and they're always up on there. We're trying to get them off.
It's been one of the best feuds to watch, and just like it reminds me of old school wrestling feuds, like back in the day, the 70s, 80s, that could go on for months and years, and there was still emotional grist to it because of all you guys in it. So thank you guys for putting that on. Good luck to you in the tournament.
Yes,
Good
sir.
luck in Hell in a Cell.
Thank you.
3 of you get to be. You know what? I don't want to know.
just have to watch and see.
I'm gonna watch.
That's why you watch the show.
You can watch it on the WWE Network for only $9.99.
$9.99.
These guys.
Hey,
Thanks, y'all. Oh, hi. I didn't
man.
see you come in.
That interview looked so fun.
It was.
Did you what are you sharing with everyone at home that you weren't sharing with me just in that look?
Nothing at all. I love the New Day. I love them. My only regret for that interview was that Big E, their teammate and one member of the New Day, wasn't here for the interview because I love him. He's amazing. But they're all super great dudes.
Cool.
The
And
best.
the last time we saw them, they brought us some bootios. Remember
They
that?
totally did.
They have their own cereal.
They definitely do. They are fantastic, super fun, and like the biggest geeks and
big
just
geeks,
having
yeah.
fun doing what they're doing. So
Yeah.
it's neat.
Everyone should love their job as much as that because that's super
Yeah.
dope. And of course, you guys can interact with us if you want to go over to marvel.com/NYCC2017. You can check out this live stream as well as tweets of panels and photos and articles and all kinds of other cool stuff. And you can interact with us when you hashtag MarvelNYCC. And we'll take your tweets and your comments. And you can ask us questions and we'll tell you all of the secrets.
Yes. Sophia has said thank you for your idea of the hashtag game.
That's
Thought it was
nice.
cool. It was neat and interesting. Good stuff. Yeah, so one of the things that we're doing this year is using Twitter for live blogging and live tweeting our panels, and that's the Twitter account Marvel Live, MarvelLive. You can follow them as well because they are going, we have our staff going to all the many panels. They're reporting on everything that's happening there. There's lots of news, announcements, cool things that are going on. So you can get all those updates there. Mix that in with watching our live stream and following all the other updates. And you've got a whole smorgasbord of fun.
Smorgasbord. And of course, there are a lot of interviews and cool things that are showing up here in this live stream today. A lot of those you'll be able to check out later at marvel.com or on the Marvel YouTube channel, where you can just go watch that interview if you're like, oh gosh, I want to watch Whoever Do That Thing. That
Yeah.
was so neat.
I want to watch Whoever
She's-
Do That Thing.
She said very specifically.
Yep, I'm gonna Google whoever did that thing. No, probably don't do that.
No, don't.
That's probably dangerous on a number of levels.
At your own risk.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about this Comic-Con because I know we talked about it a little bit for THWIP, the big
Yes.
Marvel show, but Marvel's Runaways is having their sort of Comic-Con coming out party. That's their first time that they're doing a Comic-Con. I'm so excited about the show. It's coming to Hulu on November 21st. Okay, Ryan, the Runaways. Why, oh why did they run away? The Runaways, why are they so dope?
Because it told a different story set in the Marvel Universe originally. I'm thinking of the original comics and like telling the story that you could hook into if you were a kid.
Yeah.
And like that sense, it reminds me a little bit of like Goonies in a sense.
Yes,
You
it
know?
totally does. It's our time.
Yeah. Like the feeling of
Yeah.
adventure and danger and excitement of kids in the midst of something larger is kind of there, but also like beautiful art from Adrian Alfona
Oh, so
and
great.
Christina Strain and Brian K. Vaughan's original story, and now we've got the new book.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
with Rainbow Rowell and Chris Anka on art, which is so good already. It's just really kicking off. I think they're only an issue or maybe 2 deep.
Yeah, only one has come out so far.
Yeah, and it's just fantastic. I think my favorite thing about the Runaways is the characters in particular.
Mhm.
I think are so cool. It's one of those teams where it's got a ton of female characters that are just boss. I mean, I'm a lady, so I tend to, have an affinity for lady characters. But it's just cool. These girls are really self-possessed and have really interesting ideas and are really distinct to different. All the kids, whether they're male or female, like really are so different.
Yeah.
I couldn't get enough of the characters. And Gertrude York's all day, every day. She is my spirit inside.
Yes. I was on a podcast recently called the Short Box Podcast, and then one of the things that I mentioned was that the people internally at Marvel are really most of the people who have seen the new Runaways, and everyone is like shaking with excitement because they love it so much already, and they've watched like 2 episodes. And it's exciting times.
I haven't seen them yet, and it physically hurts me.
I think I have them in I can watch them, but I have to have the time.
So if what time do you watch them? And I'll be there.
We could watch them later.
You guys, okay, well, I have to go watch those right now, but you guys should check out a very special Marvel's Eat the Universe with Justin Werner, our celebrity chef, getting a shock from some cold brew to kick off your New York Comic Con 2017. Yeah. Let's go take a look.
So you're stuck in a hotel room and you really want coffee, but not just any coffee, you want cold coffee. And not just any cold coffee, you want cold brew coffee. Why do you want it? Maybe you enjoy its subtle chocolatey notes or the fact that cold brew coffee has less acidity. It could be any number of reasons. Maybe you're just feeling like, I want to do something weird in a hotel room. The problem with a hotel room is that you don't have a lot at your disposal. You've got an ice bucket, you've got water, maybe you have a cup with ice, but I almost guarantee that you have some sort of coffee. And the coffee might come in many forms. It could be loose, it could be in packets, it could be in tiny cups. You gotta do whatever you gotta do to get it out of there. Once it's out of there, chances are you can make cold brew, because chances are you packed a sock. Now, to make cold brew coffee out of a sock, I recommend a clean sock and a sock that you don't mind if it turns a little brown. I've got this cute little Groot sock right here. So, follow very carefully. Remove the lid from the ice bucket. Open up the sock and carefully add all of the coffee into the sock. This is actually the most difficult part of the entire process. Careful. It's okay if you make a mess because they have a cleaning service. Maybe just do this over the sink or something. Don't do it over your bed. But you really can't have too much coffee in the sock. Oh man. Look, you can see the sock is now sagging from the weight of the coffee. From here, all you have to do is put the sock in the ice bucket and add some water. Now, depending on the amount of coffee that you have in the sock, it could make something very concentrated or very weak. Either way, it's gonna be pretty darn potent. Check back in 12 hours. Oh, boy, I could use some cold brew. Oh, wow, hey, there we have it. Cold brew, ready, in a bucket. How about that? Let's give it a test. Looks like cold brew to me. Now this might be really strong. This might be cold brew concentrate, to which I could add some more water if I wanted to. But the color on this, the aroma, smells like just what I need right now after that really long nap. Well, that's a Black Bolt if I ever had one. Cold brew for me is really great, especially in the morning, especially if I'm gonna have a long, sweaty day ahead of me. I don't know how your Comic-Con experience is, but sometimes I get a little sweaty. This will also keep, so if you have a sealable container, you can take this around with you perfectly cold. We just made cold brew coffee in a sock.
Hey guys!
Hi.
And we're back!
Yeah.
How great is Justin?
Yeah, no, Justin is the best.
And he cooks the best food.
He does.
I mean, he was on Thwip, the big Marvel show, and he's cooked for us before. And the stuff he comes up with is crazy.
He thinks
like
about
food science.
Yeah, he thinks about food in a way that I think an artist thinks about their work. In the way they put things together. You know, you like the writer's mind, the artist's mind, the musician's mind is very similar to the way Justin thinks about food. He thinks about like the presentation and all the ingredients, and you know, like, oh, if I did this, then it would make this effect, but I can change somebody's interpretation of something if I do this. It's really cool stuff.
Yeah, and just watching him get really stoked about a spoon is adorable.
Yes, I love spoons too.
Oh,
yeah.
the best.
But I was just playing a little Marvel Contest Champions.
Hey now.
Yep. And our show is brought to you by them. Just give you a little heads up that I ain't just lying. I ain't whistling Dixie here. My summoner profile.
But if you were, that would be a great nickname.
That's my whistling Dixie.
Okay, that's close.
I'm a level 45 summoner. You can find me on Agent Space M if you want to friend me on there. We have I have a little group in here called Tacos, Taco Zone Marvel. That's the name of the clan group I am part of. Yeah, I got some really great characters, some really great Marvel heroes in here.
So, since you are the expert, if people have never played Marvel Contest of Champions, what is it? How do you play it? How does it work?
Yeah, it's a fighting game, but you know, like any good Marvel thing, it's like built with story in mind and built with characters, and so there's this just really cool, ever-evolving mythology and story that the team behind Marvel Contest of Champions and Marvel Games have built to help like you think about like pull these things together. Yeah. How do you have an Old Man Logan fighting against another Old Man Logan, or do you have characters from different universes fighting against each other? It's all involving the Collector and then the Grandmaster and sort of how their rivalry has evolved over time and all the really cool stuff. There's tons of like live events and different things.
Yeah, and there's like sort of different modes of play, right?
Yep. Yeah. So you can go and you can fight. It's also got that like Pokemon-esque thing where you want to collect them all.
Yes.
So you can gather.
Unlock them all.
Yeah, you gather so many heroes and so many characters. But there's events that are always going on, and like there's this one right now called Blades, which just started, and that introduces a new character, which we're going to get into really soon.
Yeah, we are. We're going to reveal that character very soon, in fact.
But then there's like things that you can do every day, every week. There's player versus player. So like my characters I put in a team can go against yours.
Yeah, and then we'll fight in a very fun way.
In a very fun way. And it's simple but complex. So like you could just tap, 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 tap. But
and that's why I like it too. Yeah. I think sometimes people can feel intimidated by video games or fighter games because they think, oh, I need to know all these like combos and crazy things. And it's really friendly game to play. Like it sort of as a novice, you can really enjoy it. I think just as much as somebody who's like very, very talented at playing video games.
Yeah.
Which is super dope.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, like collecting the characters and trying to get the ones that you love the most is super fun.
You're adorable because I keep seeing him just like looking at his little roster with so much pride.
Look at these guys. I got Winter Soldier and Old Man Logan and Loki and Black Panther and Captain America and all these characters here. You can see them and they're great. And I have a lot of fun when I play the game.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to reveal a special character from Marvel Contest of Champions.
I don't have that character yet.
You don't have that
Why
character
don't
yet.
I have that character yet?
Well, maybe because we're going to reveal them.
Oh, fine.
Are you okay with that?
I guess, but somebody should hook it up. They won't. They won't mess up the game.
no.
Like I've asked, hey, hook me up, and they're like, no, that would mess up the game for everyone else. So they're on the up and up.
Aw, they're doing it right.
They are.
You guys, stick with us here. We're going to have that character reveal from Marvel Contest of Champions coming up next.
Comic-Con of 2017! Woo! What's up, y'all? I'm Josh Soleil with Marvel Games. We are here with Contest of Champions. Let's go down the line and introduce ourselves.
Hi, everybody. My name is Simon, and I'm one of the gameplay designers for Contest.
My name is Gabriel. I'm art/creative director for Marvel Contest of Champions.
Hello, true believers! I'm Bill Roseman, creative director at Marvel Games, working with these great people to make this great game.
Now we're going to show you a video.
Yeah. Hey, we want to thank you all for coming here to New York Comic Con and coming to the Marvel booth. So we have for you right now a world exclusive video showing the behind the scenes creation of the newest character. And in fact, she's an all new character, never appeared before anywhere. We're going to see the creation of Morningstar.
Kings and queens in the Dark Ages, they had to be kind of evil. Marvel came to us and said, your game is very successful, you guys have a very creative voice. We had this idea of like maybe launching a character that would be launched in the comics and in the game at the same time, which never happened before. They sent us this blurb. It was no more than a couple of paragraphs that was written by Al Ewing. He wrote about this character that he intended to develop called Guillotine. I was so very excited about creating a character for Marvel and that will be part of the mainstream universe and also in the game. So I sent them a bunch of designs. They took my first designs and Paco Medina, the artist for the Contest of Champions series, started like changing, evolving it and sent it back to me and I evolved it back and then Marvel was looking at it and we came to this final design that people see in the game right now. Guillotine was the first big original character. But after that, they said, oh, we want to create more. One of the ideas is to create a gallery of rogues. This new character is called Morningstar. She is a character that we created to be Guillotine's nemesis. Guillotine has this connection to the occult and the horror and the catacombs of Paris and this whole like ancient Gothic history. Me and Al talk sometimes about it, like what is this long history of the blade, where it came from. A logical development of that is to show another person that had that blade before. Morningstar, she used to be this Eastern European queen in the Dark Ages that owned the sword and used the sword to subjugate her own people. She was like this tyrant type figure. So they invade her castle, classic horror, with the pitchforks, and take the blade from her and trap her in this Iron Maiden, the mystical Iron Maiden that can trap the soul and the body of the person. So she dies, but her soul gets stuck there for hundreds of years. Until this evil force comes to visit Mephisto. He takes interest in the queen and say, hey, I'll make a deal with you. I'll give you a way to walk free again and go after the revenge. He transforms the Iron Maiden into this golem-like body. Of course, being Mephisto, he tricks her. You're not really free. You're still stuck, but you can walk. And he gives her like another weapon because he doesn't have the blade anymore. He gives her the mace, the mystical mace that's able to capture souls.
Morningstar has this unique mechanic around stealing souls. So using her abilities within the fight, she can steal her opponent's soul and use that to power her own abilities. And then being successful through a series of fights, she'll gain more and more abilities throughout the course of the quest. With her signature, she actually has the ability to lower the effectiveness of some of her opponent's key buffs, as well as steal part of that effectiveness for herself. So not only can she reduce the rate at which a character can just hide back and gain power, she'll also gain power herself as that's happening.
Working for Marvel has been such a dream come true for all of us. This is like a passion project. There's no single day that I don't come to work smiling, oh, what we're gonna do today. We have more ideas for the future, definitely, but we always have to make sure that they make sense for the game, for the fans, this is a natural progression or a natural adaptation that lives in our own universe. And I hope they like all the original creations. We want the universe of the Contest of Champions to be looked at as something that is fresh, but also pays homage to everything that is around in the Marvel universe. Because I owe that to my 9-year-old self, and I think a lot of us, feel the same. We never forgive ourselves for doing things out of character. We always want to be Marvel, 100% Marvel.
That was awesome.
That was hot.
And Bill, I want to take it to you. What was it like for Kabam and Marvel to come together to create a very own original character?
Well, I mean, as you can see, Gabe and everyone at Kabam, as he said, he wanted to be true to his 9-year-old self. And a lot of that is about the love and appreciation of the characters and wanting to give back. We have all these, all these heroes and villains, kind of these toys in the toy chest. And at Marvel, everything we do, we want to use what exists. We want to sometimes go through the vault and bring something into the spotlight. But at the end of the day, we want to give back. We want to keep the fun going. We want to do what the creators did for us when we were young. So the whole team totally gets that. And so it's just a thrill and an honor to work with them to see what's the coolest thing that we can make, not just for the game, not just for all of Marvel, but for all the true believers. So it was a joy. The whole team is so smart and has so much passion, and they're so creative. And you can, it's unleashed here.
Right back at you.
That's awesome. And Gabe, this is your child, basically.
Well, it's everybody's child. Yeah. Usually I'm the one that has that itch in the beginning and say well, Guillotine is such a loved character. Everybody loves Guillotine, and she's becoming bigger and bigger. But a good hero needs good villains, right? So we started thinking about that. And like I said in the video, it's a natural progression to have somebody that owned the blade before. And I always talk to Al Ewing, who's the guy who originated the character of Guillotine. And we always exchange ideas, oh, Ansela, it's actually a pretty good idea to show someone that owned the blade before Guillotine, maybe used for evil, right? Most people use the blade for evil because the blade is really tempting. Guillotine is an exception. She's very pure and good, so she wants to use the blade for good, to be a hero. But it's not the case of this one. She really used the blade for bad things.
And you know what I love about the origin and how Mephisto was involved? It reminds me of the origin of Ghost Rider, where Mephisto made a deal with Johnny Blaze and tricked him and flipped it. And here again is this tragic story of this queen. She's turned upon by her people. Mephisto comes in, makes her an offer. She accepts, and Mephisto twists it again.
Yeah,
and it's this kind of tragic story.
Yeah, what the best Marvel characters have is that twist, right? Is that even when they're villains, you kind of feel for them in a way.
When we make villains, we always want to avoid what we call the mustache twirling villains. None of our villains think they're evil. They think they're the hero of their story, but they're willing to do what others won't. And so that we always are working on the depth and the complexity of all of our characters. And what she represents is when you think about almost all the Marvel characters, in their origin, there is tragedy and trauma. Whether it's Matt Murdock pushing the old man out of the way and getting blinded, Peter Parker, after he was bit, did not stop the burglar, and Uncle Ben dies. All of our characters have tragedy. And the heroes decide to do something selfless and use their gifts now to help others. And our villains, who also go through this tragedy and get powers, they decide to be selfish and use their powers for themselves. And that's that fine line that separates our heroes from our villains.
Yeah, and for Morningstar, I think the award is penitence too, because she was trapped in this Iron Maiden for hundreds of years, she's always in pain and she's always like in this constant state of purgatory. And I keep imagining myself in that situation. What would I do? Would that make me a good person after, so much suffering? Or I'll become an evil person and be bitter and try to hurt other people? And I think that's a cool thing that we can explore in the future too.
Quick question: did you guys have any drawn any inspiration from other Marvel characters or villains when coming up with Guillotine or Morningstar?
Well, we always look at the past for sure. But I like to say to people that growing up as a fan, like Bill, like me, like everybody in the team, that we know the Marvel as a language. It's almost like an instinct, like we read so much and we read all the stories, and now we will watch the movies and we play the games. We know what feels right. So it's not something that we can pinpoint at a specific character. But, like you just said, Ghost Rider, I never thought of it, but yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like it really feels like something that is inheritor of the same language.
Yeah, it's like a relatable language, which is beautiful.
And yeah, you said it right. At the heart of all of our characters is they're relatable. Yeah. They may have amazing powers, they may have cool costumes, and go on these adventures. But at the heart of it, you understand who they are. You understand what they care about, what their motivation is. You understand their story. You may relate to their story. They may inspire you to be a better self, or they may be a warning of what not to get into. And what I love about the Marvel characters most of all is what Stan Lee himself said is Marvel puts the human in the superhuman. And so we understand our characters like they're real. And it's the time and the thinking that everyone pours into it that makes it ring true and feel Marvel.
Yeah, I remember in the library in middle school, comic books taught me my moral compass, But I want to kick it over to Simon. Can you give us some strategy on how to use Morningstar?
Yeah, sure. Morningstar, we wanted to really focus in on this like stealing souls thing, right? It's pretty core to her. It ties her closely to Guillotine and sort of ties them together as characters as well. So as you're stealing these souls, you unlock different abilities, as we saw in the video. And she's also got like Nullify, which those of us who play know is a very mystic thing. And so as you're unlocking these abilities, how you want to play with her will change a little bit, right? Some of her attacks gain damage the more souls you have. So you'll change a little bit what attack you want to lean into to do the most damage. You'll probably start off using the special 2 because you do damage with that based on your opponent's buffs. And then as you build up the souls, your special 1, which you can use much more consistently, gets a damage ability that increases with the souls, and then that will become your way to do a lot of damage. I also wanted to try and build in a way to use her heavy attack. Sometimes we feel like heavy attacks are a little underused in the game. We know they can be very difficult to actually find space to use, especially in the more difficult fights. So I tried to build some abilities in to give you access to that as well. She gains, I think it's her 3rd soul or 4th soul, she gains Perfect Block, which also has a side effect on another ability that lets you stun your opponent for a little bit longer, right? And so that gives you room to land a couple of attacks and then still get a heavy attack in. And then the heavy attack gives her like her special meter power. And a lot of her abilities tie to her special attacks. So the power gain is there to help you use those special attacks more and more often. And then that power gain improves, again, going back to those stolen souls. And so your ability to use the specials will speed up with, in addition to the strength of the abilities themselves. And so that gives us sort of a compounding effect and really makes her much, much more potent with all of these souls. And then because she can keep them throughout an entire fight, we were looking for, you have to almost struggle to get over the first few fights or be a little careful where you decide to use her initially. But once you've got those 5 souls, you want to turn her into a bit of a wrecking ball, right? You gotta pay it forward a bit. You gotta, pay your dues early, get your opponent's souls, supercharge her giant mace, and then use her to take on a tougher opponent for sure.
And she's playable next week. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe she comes out next week.
Yeah,
that's
huge. I cannot wait. And after next week, next month, we have a pretty big event coming up.
Yeah. Well, first of all, just to talk about this month, October, this wasn't even the start. First, we unleashed Mephisto on Friday, who then featured in the origin of Morningstar, which will release next week. And at the end of the month, to kick off, to cap our Halloween plans, we are going to unleash the Vampire Slayer Blade. Blade is coming to the contest. So that's October. Then in November...
November, there's something big coming in November. What's that, Bill?
Well, the storm clouds are rumbling because I think the God of Thunder has a little adventure he's going to go on in a theater near you. And at Marvel Games, what we like to do is, we no longer are trying to do, adaptations of TV shows or adaptations of films, which is very difficult to create that when they're also creating the movie. What we have done now over the last 3 years is we offer our partners the option of either introducing characters or costumes or missions that are featured in Thor Ragnarok. And so it's not trying to do the whole story, but it's just bringing that flavor and having it come in and just rock the contest and introducing new characters and new costumes and more awesomeness.
Yeah, and in our case, some stuff, we're a very cosmic game, so everything is set in this crazy battle realm. So some movies are easy to adapt. Right. Thor Ragnarok, I think, is the most identifiable to our cosmic universe.
It seems there's sort of an arena in Ragnarok
Yes.
where champions fight in sort of a contest.
Some kind of contest. The Grandmaster is our master of ceremonies, and he's also present in the movie. So there's a lot of common ideas and themes. So that one was pretty good to make. Of course, when Spider-Man came out and it was all Earth-based, it was pretty hard for us to find a high school in some distant galaxy, but we still found a way to...
And that was fun for the opposite, because also it's fun at Marvel when you have someone who's more Earth-based, like Spider-Man, is a really what we call a POV character. We are Spider-Man. Right. And then when you contrast Spider-Man with an amazing environment like the contest, then he can say what we're thinking, like, oh my gosh, there's these rocks floating in space.
It's us, right,
and there's a Grandmaster, and now I have to fight these crazy people. Right. So it's fun to do to both have something similar like Ragnarok in the contest, and then to contrast it with like a Spider-Man.
Right.
And now to bring the supernatural into the cosmic.
Yeah, the mystical and but for Thor it was like, as soon as I saw the key art for the movie, and it was just so colorful and so exciting, it felt like a natural fit for our game. So we wanted to do something really special. We are bringing Hela to the contest for sure. You can see it in our booth, some early art. We're also gonna bring Thor, of course. He's the main character. Gladiator Thor is gonna be a very different Thor. That's all I can say. Thor is very different in this movie. So he's like he's trying to get his mojo back in a way. So he has different weapons. He doesn't have the Mjolnir. So we try to get that experience in the game too with the different gladiatorial weapons and stuff. He might be a different class. I'm not gonna review right now, but yeah, you can expect some really cool things. We're also gonna have a new champion challenge. The players love that one. Since we did the first one with Agent Coulson, and we always partner with one of the actors or somebody in the Marvel universe and bring them to build their own team so the players can play against them. And people seem to really like that. It's a really cool, sweet, short challenge. So we did with Quake, we did with Drax, we did the Spider-Man. We have a new one that is connected to the Thor Ragnarok. We're not gonna reveal who it is, who she or he is, but you'll be knowing pretty soon. But it'll be big. It was gonna be our biggest champion challenge so far. And we also have a new one-shot and everything you can expect from a big movie event. So.
Yeah, and the thing I love about what Marvel Games excels at is the ability to choose your own team. Like, it's like a gateway to your Marvel soul, if you will. Yeah. And I think what this game does is you can choose up to so many characters to be your own soul, which I love. Do you guys have any love the characters that you love to choose or characters you love to play as?
I like a lot of our characters, right? I'm a gameplay designer at heart, so I like characters that sort of an interesting choices as you're playing them or an interesting play pattern. Our game, you run this sort of 5-hit combo thing, and then there's parry and dexterity in the special attacks, but you can run that loop again and again and again and again, and it is the core of the game, and keeping that loop fairly constant is important, but also providing the opportunity to sort of break out when the right opportunity arises or give the player some choice. Gwenpool is one of my favorite characters. Yeah. I like the way that she works. I like that she's quite potent, but she also has some very strong counters. She's heavily based around her bleed abilities, so if you choose to bring her into the wrong fight, she really doesn't work very well. And she's pretty highly skill-based as well, right? She has some powerful offensive abilities around controlling her opponent's power a little bit. And if you can maintain those abilities, then you can really, excel in if you bring her into the right fight. And so I think she's a very interesting character for sure.
I am not a game designer at heart. I am a comic book guy at heart. So I'm 100% passion. I don't care if I lose. I want to put those cool characters together and make like, oh, what if Medusa and Morningstar and Civil Warrior and Spider-Man were together in the Avengers? That's my thing. I just like to see them together, standing like as a team.
Same here.
And I get my ass kicked, so but I don't care. I just all about passion. So.
And as much as I'm an old school guy, and as much as I love, Spider-Man and Daredevil and those characters that have been around for so long, what's really fun for me is when we can get a new character, like a Spider-Gwen that you are dressed in as right now, or a Kamala Khan. And what I love doing is once they're in the game, I actually send the art to my friends in editorial, and we also share it with the creators who have designed the characters. Like I ran into Chris Hastings earlier today, who writes Gwenpool, and we're like, "Have you seen Gwenpool in contest?" He's like, "Yes, it's so cool." So the creators, like us, we're all fans, and so I really love the opportunity to not only spotlight the characters that people know and love, but to introduce them to new characters that they don't know that they love yet.
Yeah, and I can say a very personal experience with that because I'm also a fan. And when I create something that I see in the comics, I just like go nuts. Because, for example, the Secret Empire event that you guys send the art for Civil Warrior to the creators.
And they use the armor in the
They use the armor in the final battle against Captain America. And I was just like, oh my God, the Civil Warrior, he was an evil version of him. So I still wanted Captain America to win, but it was really cool to see that character in there.
We've had, let's see, Guillotine in the game and the comic. As you said, we had the Civil Warrior armor now appear in the end of Secret Empire. I've seen our Venompool character on a variant cover that Rob Liefeld drew.
Liefeld, yes.
The co-creator of Deadpool. That blows my mind. And I've already shared, of course, the Morningstar designs with my friends in editorial, and they're like, "She looks really cool. Can we use her?" And I'm like, "Of course."
Oh.
So we shall see if Morningstar will make the jump from screen to comic book page.
And that's always my I'm a comic guy, so that's always to see things in paper for me. That's what makes him the most excited.
Yeah, and this game has been going strong for almost 3 years now.
Yeah, December. Huge. December will be the 3-year anniversary for Contest of Champions.
Yeah. So, and the way you guys make it new and engaging by incorporating these characters and tying it into comics and movies, as me as a fan, I love it. Like I have it on my iPad and I play it nonstop, and it's great. It's not more incentive. It's free on the App Store and on the Google Play Store. So if that's not enough, I don't know what is. But anyway, do you guys have any closing thoughts? Yeah.
I just want to say how cool are our T-shirts. We worked together. We designed, it's like a faux Marvel comic cover.
Classic cover, yeah.
We even got the corner box right here.
When he says we, he means these talented artist types over here. I had nothing to do with the T-shirt.
It's a team effort. And it was really cool to think about like how you design a cover and what goes where and how do you lead the eye, and even to have the cover text to even explain. First we just had Morningstar, and we're like, oh, are people going to think that's Morningstar? No, that's Guillotine. So we add the text there to explain, oh, what are we looking at? So it's all that thought that we put together in making the real covers here on this faux cover. And
maybe that's a sign of something to come. Maybe
one
day will be a classic cover.
We shall see.
I also want to shout out the booth behind us, which is behind us.
The booth is right around the corner.
Awesome swag. It has a spin wheel where you can win some cool stuff. We have a tournament going on throughout the entire New York Comic Con. Play it out. See if you can qualify, because if you can, you will be on this stage live playing to win some cool prizes. Yeah, and we have cosplay. We have a Guillotine cosplay there as well.
Cosplay, yeah.
And speaking of prizes, I think we have...
We got some cool stuff.
Something here.
We
we
want
have
some pins, y'all.
Exclusive Morningstar and Guillotine pins.
Yeah, no problem.
Spider-Gwen is what for you.
There you go.
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
There you go. You get one. You get one. You get one. There's more. There's
Oh, my
more.
God. That's great.
I think we ran out of time. Give me more at the booth in the back.
Oh, don't fall. So yeah, thanks for all the support for us at Marvel. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with those guys. They're the real deal. You know, you always hear about stories like, oh, how those guys are, you know, really passionate. But it's all true. You know, they always ask about the story. Every time we have to come up with something, does it make sense? Is it Marvel? You know, and
that's what the fans want
right,
and deserve.
Yeah, and we all fans.
Who
so,
are the characters?
Yeah.
What is the story? Why is this happening? What do they want? What are their motivations?
Right.
How cool can we make them?
Yeah, it's been a blast. I want this game to last forever because that's my dream job, and I just want to keep going and make it better.
And if we're doing thank yous, I want to say personally, and I'm sure the whole team is right here with me, thank you guys and girls, right? We show up every day, we pour our hearts out trying to make this game, and you know, it's because you guys enjoy it, and you know, it's really cool to get to do that.
Yeah, right.
And it's really cool to be here right now, because as a game designer, you know, I sit behind a monitor all the time. I get to see some familiar faces on YouTube every now and again, that sort of thing. But you know, it's difficult for us to get this sort of direct interaction with you guys who we're doing all this work for. So it's really awesome to have a chance to see people in person. You know, sometimes, you know, hear the voice in person, or they get to see us and put a face on us and realize that we're real human beings too. And it's great that we do get to, you know, work with you guys too a little bit. And yeah, so thank you so much for supporting us and for, you know, allowing us to do what we get to do here. And we hope you guys get to enjoy it as well, right?
Thank you.
And if I can add to that, thanks, I do want to say thank you to everybody, and also keep following your dreams. We grew up, we were all just fans. We didn't know anybody, but we loved Marvel. We loved games. We worked hard. We got lucky. And now we're here. I used to walk around as a fan at the show, and now I'm here working for Marvel on the stage. So don't give up on your dreams. Have hope. Go for everything you want to do, and you'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
How that happened.
Wow.
Hey, guys. Welcome back. You are watching Marvel live at New York Comic Con 2017. I'm Ryan Penagos.
And I'm James Arthur.
Yeah, welcome to this Skybox. I'm Lorraine Sink, and we're joined by Ashley Eckstein from Her Universe. Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that we get to talk to you because I wear your clothes all the time. Oh my gosh, Her Universe is the best. But, okay, let's just start at the beginning.
It's a very good place to start.
Her Universe, the mission statement is crazy cool. Can you talk a little bit about just that whole deal?
Well, Her Universe is two parts. It's a merchandise line for fangirls, but more importantly, it's a community. Because we launched in 2010, and at the time, the stereotype was that, you know, this kind of sci-fi fantasy genre was just for the men and boys. And half of all sci-fi and fantasy fans are women. And, you know, we were honestly being bullied for it. And I read story after story of women and girls being bullied for just being who we are. And I thought, you know what? We need to create a safe place where girls can step into the spotlight and be celebrated. It's a bully-free zone, and it's something that, you know, to me is the utmost important. So I don't care if you ever buy anything from us, but come and join the conversation.
And you could be a fangirl of the day.
Yes, yes. Every single day we feature a new fangirl of the day. Have you been our fangirl of the day, Lorraine?
I don't think I have.
How?
Oh my gosh.
But I'm your fangirl of every day.
You are, but we're going to make that happen. We're going to make you fangirl of the day.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
But I think
we have plenty of stuff.
Yeah, we got things.
Tailored for
yeah,
us.
Yeah,
got
that's
plenty.
kind of okay.
So y'all get, you know, have all that. My question was, I'm so glad that you have this, you know, thing that you've created because I was walking around. It's my first Comic Con. I'm a Comic Con firstie.
Welcome.
Is that what we call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, firstie is the safe one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm a Comic Con firstie. And just walking around, I was so impressed with like the amount of diversity that was here, and there were so many women, and so it's so great that you are like saying, hey, we are here and creating a space that was so needed as well. And so like you're a fashionista.
I try.
Yeah.
You're a fashionista.
This is my Star-Lord jacket. So, you know, I'm gender bending Star-Lord.
All the snaps.
You know, and then my Groot, you know, hug a tree.
So cute.
Oh wait, no. Hug a tree.
that
I'm
works.
Groot.
Yeah.
And this T-shirt's made out of recycled water bottles, so we try to be socially conscious
Can I ask
and
a weird
cute at the same
question?
time. Yeah.
Can I feel what the T-shirt feels
Sure,
like? I don't
feel
know.
it.
What does that feel like, Ryan?
It feels like T-shirt.
Whoa.
Like
Yeah.
There's a little, you could, like the syntheticness a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's cool.
So can I feel your shirt?
Absolutely.
I'm curious too. I asked first.
It's made out of 50% post-consumer water bottles, so I figured Groot would be proud.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Lorraine, you should feel some.
Okay, let me feel.
You should feel my shirt,
I
Lorraine.
was like, I'm just
Feel
gonna
my
get
shirt.
one. So
You're kind of saving the world through fashion.
I never thought of it that way before, but thanks for giving us a new tagline.
there you go.
Could that be my my Marvel comic character?
Fashionista?
Could I be?
And she
a-
saves the world with fashion.
Fashion.
Yes!
Let's get that. Let's write it. Let's print it. I'll
Let's
draw.
do it.
You have
Stick
voiced a
figures.
Marvel superhero because you're not just a founder of a company, you also are a voiceover actress.
I will tell you, I was super thrilled. I do the voice. I'm most known for the voice of Ahsoka Tano on Star Wars: The Clone Wars, but it was my dream to be a part of the Marvel Universe. And I got to voice actually a Dagger for Cloak and Dagger.
And you look a lot like Dagger.
In fact, when I saw
In
you
real
walking through the
life.
hallway, I thought that's who you were at first.
Oh, well, thanks. But no, it was really exciting to do that. And I actually can't say, but I'm about to go in on a new series and voice a new character. So I'm just thrilled to be part of the Marvel Universe, both as, you know, in the entertainment side and also the licensing side.
Yeah. One of the we were talking about earlier outside before we did the interview, but it's not just like the cool fashion stuff. There's also you're part of a whole line workout gear, right?
Yes, and it was actually inspired, you know, not even with the need for workout gear. It was inspired by, you know, all these characters that we love. I mean, for example, like Captain Marvel right now, I'm obsessed with.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to be Captain Marvel, but with that comes training. And, you know, when I'm on the treadmill, sometimes I'm looking for some extra motivation.
Sure.
I mean, let's be real. So in my mind, I would often channel my inner superhero or the hero that I want to be, and I would turn my workouts into hero training. And, you know, so that's when I thought it kind of started with the idea of hero training, and then I was like, well, we need cute clothes to go with this.
Yeah. That's true.
So I actually pitched it to Kohl's, and they had never done it before. They had never done, you know, licensed activewear for women. And they started with Marvel, and we did the Avengers last year. We did Iron Man, Captain America, and Black Widow. And this year we just released a new line, Spider-Man and Captain America. And, you know, it does. It gives you that extra oomph when you're, you know, trying to get that extra mile in.
That's legit because I have that Black Widow gear and I like channel some inner Russian spyness and I'm just like red room all day.
You are totally Black Widow.
Thank
Lorraine.
you.
Oh my gosh.
You guys, I have a lot of secrets.
Yeah, so that is the Marvel Hero Elite line through Kohl's. So you should definitely check that out.
Thanks. And there's some men's wear
Oh, good, yeah.
and boys as well. So it's, you know, it's really Marvel for the whole family.
That's fantastic.
I love
Marvel's
that.
for the whole family.
It is.
And you know, Halloween is coming up. And you have some really cool cosplay dresses. It's so funny because whenever Ashley shows up, I just corner her and I'm like, but you have this and you have this. And I love it because, I mean, I would do wear Marvel clothes all day, every day. But they're so fun and they're very wearable as, you know, sort of everyday clothes, but also as costumes.
Thank you. Yes, I'm excited. I'm going to be wearing my Miss Marvel dress tomorrow. I saw, you know, big props to the new Shop Disney site because they released a little girl's version of Miss Marvel.
That blew up.
Yes.
Like, we showed that out. I saw it because I just randomly saw it and I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if people know about this.
Yeah.
Like little kids, this is the costume that we want.
Yes.
You know, like, this is great.
It was so exciting to see it, but everyone complained. They were like, we need an adult version. And I was so excited because they didn't know that ours was already in production. And I'm like, yes, we did one too. So I'm just thrilled, you know, characters like Miss Marvel and Spider-Gwen and Gwenpool. It's like, you know, we get to play with these female characters that don't normally get love in terms of, you know, the apparel and the merchandise.
Well, you're helping to revolutionize that and pioneer that. So hat goes off to you.
You're not wearing a hat, James.
Oh, well.
Can somebody get James a hat?
Somebody get me a hat.
See, my superhero character would have a hat for you.
Oh, me.
Yes.
See?
Yeah,
There you go.
Fashionista
Made out
would
of.
be like, I'd be like, thanks, Fashionista. Hats off to you. And see it wins.
Yep.
Then my line works. Otherwise, now it doesn't.
Yep.
Oh my
Thanks,
gosh.
I love it.
I love it.
You know, speaking of more things that you do that I think are super, super awesome, you also make things of all sizes, and for little girls, for sort of standard women's sizing and plus sizing, and you reflect that in your models, and I just love it.
Oh,
I mean,
thank you.
I'm just really just giving you props. But
Wow, I'm going to come here often when I'm feeling down.
Let's give you props
But it
and
is-
hats off. And
But I mean, I think I just love it because I know, how things are going to look on my body because you see it on a variety of women. When you were sort of choosing models, was that part of the whole mission?
Very much so. In the beginning, I was our only model because I was a cheap model.
I remember that.
I was free.
That's how I got this gig.
Yeah, but I will say it. For me, it was very important to show real fangirls in the clothes, and that means of all shapes and sizes. Short, tall, plus size. Petite size, kids. So it's really, really important to me that we find. Just kind of real girls, and we show all sizes. And we will be venturing into kids next year. That's all I can say.
Very cool.
So Marvel fans will be very excited about that. That's all I can say. Just yet. But stay tuned. I think you'll like it. I think you'll really like it. Fingers crossed. But yeah, we're also working a lot more with Torrid. The plus size fashion brand, and they have a new site called Torrid Fangirl because I feel like plus size fangirls for so long were just left out completely. And I know for us, it's not that we didn't want to, but we couldn't. From a manufacturing standpoint, I didn't have the manufacturing capabilities, the right factories. Because one thing I want to point out, and not to get too much into the business, but I think it's important to know that Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, we go through the strictest of strict audits to get our product made. So when you buy a Marvel product, when you buy a Disney or Star Wars product, know that it's coming from a really, for lack of a better word, I have con brain, legit factory where they, the workers are treated fairly, and we take great pride in that. So I'm actually thrilled I get the chance to share that because I just didn't have the right factories for it. Now, thanks to Torrid, we're doing lots together. We have some really cute Marvel pajama sets that I just saw that are really fun. So lots of Marvel designs coming in all sizes.
That's so great. You guys, I am talking about the old con days a lot today.
Yes.
But when I was a kid, I would go to conventions, and I think in general, there are a lot of XL t-shirts that are like men's XL t-shirts that, people throw out. And I have a bunch of them still from when I was a little kid that I like, you wear them as a nightshirt or whatever when you're a tiny kid. But I just think it's so cool that, kids now have a place where they can get those kinds of items and have female cuts. It's a big deal for me.
Legit lady pajamas for Marvel.
Yeah.
It was a lag.
It really was. I have to say, we have some kind of key retail partners. We work a lot with Disney. Obviously, Box Lunch Gifts is another one. They're really venturing out into offering more for kids because they're really, if you think about it, for kids, especially for girls, for the longest time, it was really just costumes. And girls especially, they couldn't get a Ms. Marvel costume until now. So it's really exciting. Next year, I think, is going to be a big year for even the younger fans.
Sure.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So great.
So do you also teach other folks how to get involved in creating their own costumes? I hear there's a fashion contest or something that you do in San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes,
Yeah?
we do a geek couture fashion show, and I know in the beginning it was like an oxymoron, geek couture,
But it works.
Yeah, now it's a thing. People know what it is,
Yeah.
and it's a design competition where we pick 2 winners. So there's 25 designers, and we pick 2 winners, and they get to design a Her Universe collection for Hot Topics. And the first collection was actually an Avengers collection, and it was one of the most successful collections in Hot Topics history. So it's really providing a professional opportunity for fans.
Yeah, didn't it sell out the day it debuted, I think? Because it was supposed to be a limited series, right?
Well, for the longest time, people said that fangirls wouldn't buy product made for them. And I think we're proving them wrong. And so, it's if you want change, honestly, the best way to prove it is with your dollars for the merchandise.
That's very true.
And I'm so just proud of our community in general because it was never about the money. It was about making this world for everyone. Because these stories, you guys talk about all the time, these stories, you can't put a gender on these stories.
No.
These stories are for everyone. And that's we're getting there. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. And I hope there becomes a day where nobody even questions a little girl that's in a, costume. It's like, why are you wearing that?
Yeah, we had a really great experience this morning. There was this little girl, Susan, dressed up as Daredevil, holding a little Rocket Raccoon plushie.
Oh my God.
She was like, let's see what you can do. And she pulls out batons and
Yeah,
she's
she
just
got her
like,
little Billy
She was the
Crystal.
best.
Oh my gosh, it was so cute.
I seek out all the mini cosplayers and I follow them on Instagram. They're just the cutest.
Actually, speaking of the con, where can fans find you here at the convention? Are you doing any panels? And of course, I'm sure there's plenty of product on the floor.
Yes, we've partnered for several years now with the official Reed store. So right when you walk in the lobby, in the official Reed Pop store, you'll see actually our Marvel dresses. We have the Gwenpool dress here, the Miss Marvel dress, and the Spider-Gwen dress. And so you'll see some of our Marvel stuff, some of our product, and then we have a panel tomorrow at noon at the Hudson Mercantile. But I love these conventions. It's it's a chance. People often ask, they're like, "What's your secret? How do you know what to make?" And I say, the fans. Like we just ask. Like
What do you want?
it's me on social media. It's a very small group. My fellow fangirl Savannah, and we literally we want to know, what do you want, and we'll try to make it happen. This Star-Lord jacket is because girls ask for it. So yeah, that's the secret, is being here on the floor, talking to the fans and interacting.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, where can fans find you online?
They can go to our website is heruniverse.com, and I'm pretty much at Her Universe on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook is the Her Universe official fan page. So yeah, come and join the conversation and join the community.
And they hear you as Dagger. Where would they have to?
That was Ultimate Spider-Man. And then an upcoming show that'll probably be out next year.
We'll leave it at that.
Oh, secrets.
Yeah.
Secrets. Thank you so much for being with us. It was so good to see you.
Thanks, Fashionista.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm gonna go build my new costume,
Yeah.
right?
There
I
you
gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
And we're
need your
gonna
help later,
just-
Fashionista.
And we're just going to keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling.
Is that what we're
Right
doing?
Look at you,
here,
double
yeah.
mics.
Rolling. That's a song.
Come on down. We have someone very special.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Friend of mine. Hi, Ashley.
Bye.
Hi. We've got Matt Rosenberg here.
You don't
He
wanna step
doesn't
on
need
the
the
box?
apple
You wanna
crate.
step?
Sure. Let's see what would happen. Let's just for fun. No, okay. Doesn't need it. Whoa.
Oh, very
it's too much.
tough.
It's too much.
There we go. Phew.
Matt is a comic book writer.
I am.
And a wonderful dude. And also,
not.
did you drink half a gallon of chocolate milk on your way here?
I'm so proud.
No, that's all morning.
Okay.
It's all day. You got to stay hydrated at comic conventions.
Chocolate
It's
milk.
super
Is that
important.
Like
Your
thinking about all that
hydration?
chocolate
Yeah,
milk.
yeah. It's a liquid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
okay.
my first convention, so is that
Get
what I
some
need
milk.
to do?
Yeah.
I did it wrong.
If you don't drink that, you're going to be real sick tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Warm
Drinking a
milk.
gallon, warm chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Sitting out for a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
At the
perfect.
table, if you have a table, you're good.
Okay, awesome.
So, day one of the con, what has been going on for you today?
I have been running around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've been sitting at my table, signing some books, talking to people about books, and then I did Marvel's Next Big Thing panel.
Nice. What did we talk about with you in next big
Yeah.
With me?
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about The Punisher,
Mm-hmm.
which I am taking over next month. It's October. I'm taking that over next month-ish.
Okay.
And that is where Frank Castle steals the War Machine armor and goes to war. And we talked about. We weren't supposed to talk about Tales of Suspense, but we did. It wasn't. It's announced. The book is announced. But someone in the audience had a question about Black Widow, and that is where the mysteries around Black Widow's death will be discussed.
Very cool.
Wow.
And that
Yes.
Tales of Suspense book, I mean, we've seen the art
We've
a
seen
little
the
bit,
art.
so we know that it's Bucky and Hawkeye
It is-
together.
Yes, it is. People begin to die, and they are people that Natasha was not crazy about, and they die in Black Widow-esque ways. And so Bucky and Hawkeye, not the biggest fans of each other, decide to investigate, and their investigations lead to each other, where they team up, they don't get along, they get into some trouble, and they fall into a hole of who is killing people and why.
I thought you were going to say, and they find friendship at the end of the
I
tunnel.
mean, I don't want to spoil the book,
Okay.
but they do not. They do not.
Here's the thing that I'm sure you're going to get if you haven't gotten it already, are the shippers that
Yeah.
are
Oh yeah.
Is it?
There are.
Hawkbuck, Buckeye, what's
No,
what's
well, first
their
of all,
name?
obviously Buckeye, but
I don't know, Hawkbuck.
I'm going to lean towards Hawkbuck.
Hawk.
It's tricky to say.
I mean, I find myself saying Buckeye accidentally a lot, and people just stare at me. But what's interesting actually is that a lot of people are reaching out to me being like, Clint and Natasha are the truest love in the Marvel Universe and they need to get together. And then people saying, Bucky and Natasha are the truest love. And it's about 50-50.
Really?
Which makes me want to just send these people to each other and say, you guys need to work this out and then come to me and I will ignore it and do what I think is right. But I think that they should work it out amongst themselves.
I personally love the Bucky Natasha romance, and the tragedy of that to me is the biggest thing, and like how like memories were lost and things changed, and like that adds an element of sadness and loss to it that is hard to overcome.
Yeah, they have a shared trauma that it's hard because they're so close and care so much for each other, and so much of that comes from a shared awful experiences, and that's really beautiful that they found each other, and very sad that they lost each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just find it hard that her exes are chilling out, just probably talking about her.
Oh yeah. That is a big thing.
Worst nightmare, right?
Yeah, worst nightmare.
Yeah.
So, I dated so and so too.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Matt, how did you get started at Marvel?
I got started at Marvel. I was publishing my own comics, which were pretty bad. Don't look for them on eBay.
Well, now they're going to do that.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
realized
first thing
that.
I'm doing as soon as this interview's done.
And then I did a book called 12 Reasons to Die with RZA and Ghostface Killah from the Wu-Tang Clan. And then I did a couple other books for a company called Black Mask, and a Marvel editor who named John Moisen, who is no longer at Marvel, but is still a beautiful human being.
We love John.
We love John, yeah.
Love is strong, but I love John. But he asked me to do a short story in Secret Wars Journal #1, and I remember at the time I sent it in. It was an X-Men story. And the first page I was like, these are the 36 X-Men you see on this page. And he wrote back and he was like, why are there 36 X-Men on the page? And I said, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to write the X-Men again. I need them all on the page. And he was like, can we do 12? And I was like, no, it's got to be 36. So in the end, it's 36 X-Men on the page.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. Who had to draw this for you?
A great artist named Luca Pizzari.
Okay.
Yeah, he drew
Very
it.
upset with you, I'm sure.
He was. He's great. He moved to New York and we hang out and he's a great guy, but he was not happy when he got that script. Why would he be? They don't even talk. They don't do anything. They're just in a room.
They're just there.
Yeah.
How did you decide which 36 you were going to...
I mean, you go to your top 36 X-Men.
Do you not have your top 36 X-Men?
I have my top 56, but I just feel like that'd be a little bit much.
In alphabetical order. No, I don't. So yeah, it's that was my first thing at Marvel, and shockingly, Marvel asked me to do more things.
Wow.
And here I am now writing 4 books for you all.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's very fun. It's amazing. It's a lifelong dream come true. To be honest.
Have there been surreal moments for you, like as you started getting down this journey? Because I know, like, I've known you for a while, since before you worked at Marvel, and like know that you are a fan. You love these characters. You love these stories. You've been engulfed in the universe for years.
I mean, they're all surreal moments. It's meeting Joe Quesada and having him be like, oh, I like this thing, or like it's every fan who buys a book and says like, oh, you did a good job. That's a surreal moment for me. The most surreal was I had to research something and I was looking on Wikipedia about the Inhumans, and it started talking about my story, and I had this moment where I was like, what? How did this get on here? That's not supposed to be there. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, that is actually continuity.
It's not your head canon. It's actually canon.
How are they getting to my fanfic?
It really felt, it was a real moment where I just stared at it and was like, this doesn't make sense. And I was processing it and then was like, oh, and I needed to close the computer and walk away for a minute and recontextualize my life.
Well, that's fair. At this point, have you created new Marvel characters?
Yeah, but I really like
You literally read my mind.
killing them. So I created a bunch of killing them, which is,
How is, I was going to ask about, like, with these characters, the ones that you create and some of, like, the fan favorites and the ones that you love so much, like, doing messed up things to them, like, how does that work? How do you sleep at night?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's a thing when you read the books, you love the characters and you're protective of them. And when you write the books, now that I'm on the other side, you want them to overcome things. You want them to face these challenges. That's what the greatest stories are, is the Marvel characters and the Marvel heroes persevering and surviving. So you want to throw things at them, and it's hard, and you know they'll get through it, and it's kind of amazing to be like, I think they're going to be a little stronger when they come out of this. I think they're going to be a little better, and that's the hope, at least. Except when I read the Kingpin, in which case it's like, that's a bad guy.
But when you approach a character like Kingpin, to kind of get inside that head, don't you have to kind of be on his side a little bit?
Oh, yes, I'm 100%.
You're pro Kingpin.
I am, in a sense. I was such a Kingpin apologist that my editors had to be like, are you pretending? And I was like, no, I think that when you distance yourself from Wilson Fisk, he's just Spider-Man, but 1 degree off. He loves the city and he cares about it, and he wants the best for it, but he has this big world view, and people are like, well, he profits from this stuff, and it's like, well, Tony Stark profits from these things, and it's like, well, he kills people, and it's like, well, the Punisher kills people, and Moon Knight kills people. Like, there are all these things where it's like, he's not a hero, but his goals are somewhat altruistic, but he also likes to line his pockets. So he's difficult, but he also chokes people to death and does bad things.
There's a path that if his father wasn't who his father was.
Yes.
Or if like he could have grown up in those same similar situations and something could have been slightly different and he could be leading the Avengers.
100%. He is smart and driven and passionate and he has everything that a Marvel hero has and just a broken moral compass. He's just took the wrong steps, but he's Spider-Man at his core. He's Daredevil. He is Matt Murdock, just a little nastier.
I suddenly feel like I need to go out and help children.
We should all be doing that.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways, but now inspired too.
Where can fans find you at the con and online?
I am in the very warm Artist Alley.
I've heard it's
very
McGinnis said it's very.
It was down there. It's warm.
It's nice. Yeah, I mean,
Bring a tank
bring a bathing suit. I'm at tables, let's say C25, and if I'm not there and it's someone else's table, buy something from them. And online, my name is searchable. I'm not the Matt Rosenberg who writes for the New York Times, although he's very nice on Twitter.
There you go. Go to thatgoogle.com. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have
Matt.
a wonderful Comic-Con. I'll take
I got
this
you
from
this.
you. Oh my God, thank you. Hello?
Lorraine, you're
I think
getting
it's for
gifts
you.
already. Oh,
Yeah.
She doesn't want it.
So from here, we're gonna get ready to say goodnight.
Yeah,
at least
we're
on our end.
gonna wrap up the big show.
Yeah.
James, you did some cool stuff today. Can we talk about it for a hot sec?
I did. We got a hot second. I did some cool stuff. I was hanging out with the cast of Marvel Universe Live, which
So
you and I were down
Our
there.
episode of Thwip, the
Thwip.
Big Marvel Show went live this week.
Yep, absolutely. And we got to do some live action down there. The audience was insane, just going off the chain. And we got to give giveaways to little kids and their families to go see the show.
Oh, so fun.
There was a little Captain America about yay high. The world is safe. I've seen him. He's going to protect the world. And there was
For
a Miss
generations.
For generations. And there was a Miss Marvel who was just killing it with her costume. So it was so much fun. Definitely check out Marvel Universe Live. You can go to
What
Marvel
is it?
Marvel Universe Live is
Tell
a
us all
live
about it.
action show where you can take your whole entire family to go. It's all so many different superheroes are in there. You've got Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, the Hulk. The whole gang is there, saving the world.
The Hulk looks so cool.
The Hulk is so cool. Like
the
there's a
costumes
surprise.
are really fantastic. We got to debut, preview some of the Marvel Universe Live costumes on an earlier episode of Thwip, and they are gorgeous.
They're so much fun.
So cool.
I'm checking the tweets right now in case anybody's tweeting at us.
Yeah.
And you should, if you want to interact with us, just hashtag MarvelNYCC, and we'll read your tweets and commenty things right now.
Yeah, right now. You literally get involved in the conversation. I mean, it's the future, y'all.
Yeah, we've got some
Future's
tweets
now.
in here talking about the conversation we were having with Matt Rosenberg.
very cool.
It's funny. Gavin Perkins says, "I feel like writing down my 36 favorite X-Men goes from Emma Frost, Psylocke, Laura Kinney, Jean Grey, Old Man Logan. Like that's a good exercise.
That is a
your
good-
top
Yeah.
36.
And then write that story.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
write a
that'll
top 10 series, so I feel like this is what I do all the time.
Right.
Is compile lists, and then we vote on them.
Yep.
It's really fun.
Yeah. And more just talking about what we were talking about with Matt. That's over. Well, you know, what's
cool.
interesting, we're going to have that panel that Matt talked about, the Marvel's Next Big Thing
That's
panel.
right.
Oh,
You guys stay tuned. Just keep watching the live stream because we're going to show the full panel here on the show after we wrap.
Yeah.
We're going to go, paddle boat somewhere.
We're gonna definitely paddle
We're gonna
boat.
definitely do some paddle
Right.
boats. I
figure it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when you do the leg thing. Am I doing the right motion?
Yeah.
Is this right? Yeah.
The
Okay.
leg thing.
Okay, yeah. So you two will paddle, and it's my first day at Comic-Con. I'm exhausted.
Aw.
So if you guys can just paddle and just
Oh.
feed me grapes around the
This is only
lake.
the beginning.
Uh-oh. Is it like
Only
extreme
the
close
strong
up?
survive.
Yeah, it'll be me. It'll be me. Yeah, go.
Yeah, woo! So what have been some of your highlights of today in general?
I go back to the little girl who was
Aw.
cosplaying as Daredevil this morning when we were doing Thwip,
Yeah.
and she was great. That was a lot of fun. Beat Breevort, playing Beat Breevort
Oh, that
for the
was
first
really
time, like in the live con setting, was a lot of fun. And then the drawing that we were doing, the like becoming the quick draw ish
Right.
type show we did with Ed McGuinness here was really cool. That was just awesome.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna say some of my favorite things that we got to do today was we got to meet a ton of Marvel fans.
Yes.
We were over at the Marvel booth. We have these Thwip pins. If anybody finds us, we've been trying to, give them out if you come say hello. And it's been so cool to just have people come up and be like, I love Thwip, I love Marvel.com, I love Marvel in general. It's been so fun.
That's the same thing I was going to say, the same thing, just like the energy around just the Marvel booth in general, like the fans that are coming out and just like watching their reactions to like when I was hosting the Marvel Universe Live and they're watching all these like their favorite superheroes, Panther and Spider-Man fight and the sound effects, just their faces lighting up. It was amazing. So my face lit up watching their faces, that's not creepy, is it?
No,
I think that's just right.
It's less creepy if you don't ask if it's creepy.
Oh,
but
I should have just done it and then just never talk about it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, I think that's how that works.
I'm learning. You guys teach me so much.
Yes.
You're like my joint Obi-Wan. It's really good.
Ooh,
I'll be Obi, you be Wan.
Okay.
Oh, Obi-Wan.
Oh, it's so nice. But we're gonna have a huge day
Oh my
coming up
gosh.
tomorrow.
I'm going to be so exhausted. I've got 2 panels to host
Whoa.
tomorrow.
What are
I've got Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 panel. You know what?
What?
I've got Peter Serafinowicz on the panel. Do you know?
Snap.
I don't.
I don't.
Who's
but
this?
I'm excited because you're
Tell us.
excited.
He plays the Tick in the new Amazon series, The
Oh,
Tick.
yes.
But he's also in Shaun of the Dead and so
Yes,
many other
that's right.
things.
Yes.
He
Yes.
is great. He voices Kang in the new game.
Oh my gosh, his voice too is
Yeah.
amazing.
And so
Amazing.
he's on the panel. I'm very excited. I may fangirl out on him, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Just getting to listen to him talk live.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like music
Totally
to my
cool.
ears.
And we've got a bunch of things that we're revealing in that panel that should be pretty cool. And then we have the House of Ideas panel that 2 of us are on. We're going to do some live Thwip and giveaway stuff with fans who are there and play some games and show some cool stuff to the audience at that panel. And I think that'll be cool.
Yeah, if you guys are excited about Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, tomorrow's your day. There's going to be some fun stuff from
Yes.
there. And we're going to have another cool character reveal from Marvel Contest of Champions.
Another?
I believe so,
Wait,
yeah.
what?
Oh, man.
Yeah,
so
so
many
it's going to be
reveals.
really cool. So you're going to have to watch it here to watch
Gotta
it.
tune in and see it.
Hot dang.
I know, it's going to be
Yeah.
so fun. I'm so excited.
Yeah. What about TV stuff? TV stuff is popping up through the rest of the weekend.
We do. We have, I believe we have Marvel's Runaways tomorrow, if I am correct. But we're going to have all kinds of stuff. And 2, remember, you can go over to marvel.com/NYCC2017, where you can check out live tweeting of all of our panels so that you can check out all of what's happened in all those different panels throughout the day as they happen live. And what's the Twitter where they can follow it?
Marvel Live. It's real simple.
Oh,
Yep.
That's
made it so
so
simple
easy.
for y'all.
Marvel Live.
Oh,
There you go.
so creative.
And of course, you can interact with us if you hashtag Marvel NYCC. And thank you guys to everybody who played along with our hashtag game today.
Yeah, we didn't
That
get
was
through
super
all of
fun.
them. I mean, I could pull out some more if we
Yeah,
want
let's
to see
check
some of
out
those.
a couple last
The
ones.
superpowers that you as a fan would
Would
have.
like to have.
Yeah, if you were here to get through a Comic-Con. Because, to be honest, you need some superpowers to get through some of these.
I would like multiply myself so I could. There's so much to do here. That was the thing that's like it's so overwhelming.
yeah.
So I would multiply myself so I can go to all the different panels, all the different workshops, and all the different booths. That's what I do.
Yes. Price Check says super speed could be everywhere at once and lines wouldn't matter. It's very similar to what you were saying. John Brass says, I'd create duplicates of myself once I got in there. One ticket would get me the full experience. Don't want to miss a thing. That's really smart. Slay Cobb Rock says, Shadowcat's phasing ability would be useful for getting through the crowds. We've heard that one.
Whoa, that's smart.
Yeah. Jake Duckinson says the ability to know instantly which public toilets have toilet paper without having to go in each one to look.
That's a winner.
So specific.
That is a winner.
It's like a special kind of psionic, like psychic ability, but I'm really into it.
It's like someone who's been here and they're like, I know what's up.
Yeah. Two left. Key Issues Cast says super speed to snatch up all those exclusives as fast as possible. And then I like this one. Archie Allegre says Cupid, the power to identify and couple compatible New York Comic Con goers so they don't leave lonely and alone.
That is
Aw,
beautiful.
you guys, I love
Gosh.
love.
I felt that's my huge thing. I felt so much love here at Comic Con this year.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect note to say goodnight on, but don't go away because Marvel's Next Big Thing panel is coming up right after that, which you can watch. And of course, today has been presented by Marvel Contest of Champions.
Yeah, play it. My username on there is Agent Space M. I've already gotten a couple friend requests and people adding me, so it's great. Let's do it. Let's play.
Let's play.
be pals.
He's ready.
Look at my shirt. My shirt. It's great.
Yeah.
What? It's just me rubbing my chest. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's still going.
Guys, watch
Still
Next
going.
Big Thing panel.
Yeah.
There it is.